hockey games from the look of it earlier this season.
It's going to be a lot of fun here today in a rivalry between Jamestown and Century that dates to way back when. And these two teams get together today at the state tournament. Not easy to play in the morning bracket in this tournament. You obviously want to be in the night session on Thursday night, not necessarily Thursday night, but Friday night and Saturday. How do you get up for a game like today?
Well, and I think I'm going to echo kind of what Matt Stockert says. And there's 100 high school hockey players sitting on their couches today, and it comes down to it. It's Saturday at the state tournament. There's only 6 teams in the entire state that get a chance to play today. So if you can't relish that and just getting to put the skate on with your brothers one more time, and whether you like it or not, we talked about it yesterday. This is the last time that these groups are going to be together all season long, and getting one more chance to go out there and play in an environment like this. So some kids, and pretty easy to get up for that. Some kids you may have to convince a little bit, but that is take to heart that you are one of the 6 teams remain playing in the state tournament, and you're playing for a trophy today too.
Speaking of brothers, how about the Vigs yesterday? Back-to-back goals, 8 seconds apart, propelling Century past legacy. Look for them to be big in this contest here today, I would have to assume, after a stellar performance yesterday. Right, and
one thing we really didn't talk about yesterday too is we saw a lot of backyard stuff from them, just knowing where the other one's going to be. The face-off play where Charlie had the game-winning goal. I mean, it was really just a quick reaction play off of a one draw, and Max finds Charlie in the seam. Charlie makes a move and puts one by Miller, and that's the type of stuff that you can practice with kids for years and years, and they're not going to get it. And that's just those guys sitting at home saying, hey, I win a face-off here, you're going to hit the seam and then make a move on the defenseman. And that's you can't always draw up the bloodlines like the connection that those two have, but they're very special hockey players to watch.
46 points for Max Vig. He leads the way for the Century Patriots. He goes today against Brooks Rolson, the Senior Athlete of the Year in the West Region. 43 points for him, and boy, he was spectacular yesterday against Minot High School.
Right, and he was really good against us too when they came to West Fargo to play Cheyenne. A very, very impressive young man, very impressed, and rightfully the senior athlete of their co-senior athlete of the year in the West Region. Just a kid that battles. He's got a great shot. Jamestown mostly a 2-line team, so he's out there 30+ minutes a night for his team, and I've been impressed with him all year. He battled against Red River and was a big factor yesterday against Minot, and I expect his last game for the Blue Jays for him to have a good game too.
It should be a lot of fun here today at the Ralph Engelstad Arena. It is the 5th place matchup of the North Dakota High School Hockey Tournament. We're live from the Ralph. When we come back, we'll talk to both coaches. Dave, we sat down with Matt Stockert earlier on today. We also sat down with Troy Olson. We'll talk to the headmen when we come back to the Shields pregame show. Shields of Minot Bismarck has every sporting good you need underneath the sun with fishing and fashion. Shop sporting goods, hunting and fishing gear, clothing, and more at Shields of Minot Bismarck. We'll hear from the bench bosses when we return to the Ralph Engelstad Arena. Pregame show. We're down by the locker room with Jamestown Blue Jays head coach, Mr. Matt Stockert. 19 years of the coach with the Blue Jays. First things first, how much do you like playing on a Saturday here at the Ralph Engelstad Arena?
I mean, the message just a few minutes ago with the kids was, besides us, there's only 100 hockey players in the state of North Dakota at the high school federation level that are strapping pads on today, and they're one of the lucky 120 kids that get to do that today. So it's always a good feeling to be able to play on the last day of the official last day of the high school hockey season, but nonetheless, it's always a sad day too, because you got to say goodbye at the end, and it's over and done with, and nobody ever likes to say goodbye.
you have one kid that you're going to say goodbye to that you'll certainly miss next year, and that's your goaltender in Andrew Walls. What is it about Jamestown? I have to ask you, where's the well at of the water that grows these kids? You've had plenty of good ones over time, but Walls has certainly been special for you.
Well, yeah, I mean, there is no real secret sauce, I think. I mean, it's really just asking them to do one thing, and that's stop the puck. We really don't care how it gets done. You just ask them to get in front of it and stop it. And I mean, it's not a secret. You talk to any other coach. We try and pack it in the D zone and keep teams to the outside and all that fun stuff. And so you get a lot of perimeter shooting, but you also need goalies to make saves there. So I think you saw that yesterday. A whole bunch of shots from the outside, and Andrew smothers them or redirects them into the corner, and then we take care of the puck from there. And it works for us. So we don't get into the whole mix of trying to change a bunch of things when something really isn't broke, So there is really no secret sauce. It just kind of is what it is.
Brooks Rolston, a special player for you. You're going to miss him next year as well. 43 points, a dominating performance against Minot yesterday. Just touch on his puck awareness and his hockey sense and what that brings to the table today in the final game of the year.
Yeah, I mean, you said it all. I mean, he understands the game. He's got a little bit of skill to go behind it, and I think when you add a little bit of hard work and determination into that conversation, you get a kid like Brooks, and what people don't see is inside the locker room and in the school and out in the community. I mean, Brooks is an A1 kid, and we care about that just as much as we care about being good hockey players out on the ice. And that room is full of 22 good ones over there right now, and we got a few kids back at home that we want to bring with, but roster sizes and limitations and all that good stuff doesn't allow you to do it. But Brooks, great kid, good hockey player, and he'll have a good baseball. He'll have a good spring here with baseball, a good summer with baseball, and who knows, he might play hockey at the next level. We'll just have to wait and see.
It's going to be a fun one today with Bismarck Century. In regulation on the year in the two games that you guys played, one goal separated you. A shootout was needed in the other. What do you expect out of the Patriots today on the other side of the ice?
Troy's guys is playing really well, and he's got a young group over there, and sometimes when you have young and working hard, there's a little rambunctiousness in there, and a little bit of fire. So I mean, we had two great battles. We did a college style home and home because of a rescheduled deal. We went to Bismarck Century on a Thursday night, and they beat us in a shootout there, and then they turned around and traveled to Jamestown on Friday, and we came out on top there. So I actually, after yesterday's game, our locker rooms were right next to each other, and the Century kids were getting ready to go out for warm-ups, and before I went into our locker room, I kind of stopped, and they were all standing there waiting, and I said, sure, it'd be fun to have a rubber match, and they all kind of got a chuckle out of that, and they obviously beat Legacy to be here today to face us, so should be that, a fun rubber match.
The rubber match is on today, and for you, the final thing for you today, for the Jamestown program, obviously everybody in the West region wants to be in that TV round and win a state championship, but how big is it to go back-to-back as a fifth place finisher in the state high school hockey tournament and in the state of North Dakota?
I mean, it's good. I mean, anytime that Jamestown's been here, I think we've been here 7 or 8 times or whatever, and probably the last 10, 11 years or 12 years or something like that. So, I mean, anytime we can get here, it's always good and shows the kids that, hey, we can play. And if we continue to buckle down and work on the craft, so say, in the off season and do the extra things to continue to be better, we can be here every year, which is a good thing.
Sure appreciate your time all season long. Great season for you. Congratulations again on the Coach of the Year award, and best of luck here today.
All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
That's Matt Stocker, the head coach of the Jamestown Blue Jays. When we come back, we'll talk to Troy Olson, the head coach of the Century Patriots. Fifth place is on the line at the Ralph Engelstad Arena. It's high school hockey state tournament coverage here on the PSP Network. Pregame show. We're now joined by Troy Olson, year number 18. Ole, great to see you at the state high school hockey tournament. Obviously, you want to be in that championship game here tonight, and you want to be in that TV round last night. But first things first, how big was it on Thursday for the West Region to have a showing the way that they did?
It was really good to see, Nick. You never really know coming in. It's going to be tough games. And aside from the one, I thought there was 3 pretty good hockey games that could have gone either way.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch the West show up the way they did. You've got a good hockey team here this year, and you guys really came on strong at the end, as we knew you would. Touch on the Vig brothers just for a second. What are these kids like off the ice? Because obviously on the ice, they're a living highlight reel. Yeah,
that's true. Charlie, as a grade 10, I think he kind of came in expecting to do a little better than he did. It's a huge learning curve. When you're a first-year high school player, you're playing against 18-year-olds, and it took him a while to figure it out, and like it usually does with those grade 10s. But after Christmas, he's just been lights out. He's been burying chances, and you can see he's explosive. And those two, they're brothers. They sit by each other in the locker room and pick on each other, and they have a lot of fun together, and it's pretty cool for them to be able to play together.
I have to ask you this: what was the message to Charlie after he outshowed his big brother with the game winner yesterday, 6 seconds later?
Oh, he was pretty impressed with himself. He had to watch that on the highlight film a couple times.
Fantastic stuff. Jamestown's the opponent today for you. And first question here on today's matchup: how big is it for Century to win a 5th place trophy at the state high school hockey tournament?
Well, it'd be really nice, obviously, to finish with a win. It's kind of crazy how much the difference is between winning and losing that last game. It's just sets the tone for the season, and even going into next year. It's nice to finish with a W.
We talked about this a little bit before, but how tough is it to get kids up on the loser out bracket just to show up to play? I know that Jamestown today is the rubber match, but still 1 o'clock on a Saturday at the Ralph isn't ideal. But how hard is it, and what's the message today to get everybody going right away?
Right now the guys are loose. They're happy to be playing on the last day of the year. It's kind of nice to know when your season ends. Being up here and having a chance to finish it off the right way. I think they're just gonna play for the seniors and enjoy each other and just go out and get her done one last time.
Final thing for you, Matt Stockert's been at this for 19 years, you 18. What's this rivalry like between you guys, and is it a friendly relationship between you and Stock?
Yeah, we get along pretty well. We do a lot of stuff off season with NDHA and things like that. And you mentioned it, I go to the coaches meeting today, and I told my wife before I left the hotel, I'm the old guy now, man. I think I've been around me and Stock since a long time. I've been coming to these meetings since 1992. So we have a lot of fun together. It'll be a good competitive game, and it's good to play Jamestown. They're clean, they play hard, and they play the right way.
Should be a lot of fun. Is there one key today?
We got to defend better, to be honest. We give up 3 goals our last 2 games, and we can't fall asleep in our DN. But other than that, play loose, play for each other, and have a fun time.
Should be a great time today. Thanks so much for everything this year and your time, as always, with PSP Network. Best of luck here today.
Yeah, thanks. Again, Nick, I can't thank you enough for the coverage you do across the board with PSP. I'm glad to see all the hits last weekend, and glad you're doing audio. I got a daughter in the Czech Republic who's listening to you and watching on the stream, so it's pretty cool.
Fantastic. Thanks, Ole. Appreciate you very much.
All right. Thanks, Nick.
That's Troy Olson, the head coach of the Century Patriots. When we come back to our Shields pregame show, we're going to get set and ready to break down this matchup a little bit further. Then we'll have our opening draw from the Ralph Eggleston Arena. Blue Jays and Patriots live on the PSP Network.
Be transformative for your small business. The best bank for your business will offer competitive fees and so much more. At BNC National Bank, our team is proud to offer you a helpful, supportive, above and beyond banking relationship. Starting to stress about the complexities of qualifying for a small business loan? BNC can guide you through the process with much less stress and likely far more success. Speak to one of our team members today.
Showtime from the Ralph Eggleston Arena. Alongside of the former North Dakota High School hockey standout, Mr. Dave Wilson, I am Dick Colbert. Thanks for joining us today for the Shields pregame show that will now put a wrap on here. Shields of Monet Bismarck has everything you need, from fishing and fashion. You name it, hunting, fishing gear, clothing, footwear, and every sporting good underneath the sun at Shields of Mine and Bismarck. Dave, is there one key to this game today in your mind for either team if they want to come out of here with a trophy today?
I think I'm just going to, I echoed Matt Stockard earlier. I think I'll echo Coach Olson, and that's just, play for each other. It's the last time you guys get to play together, ever as a group. These guys won't probably be in the same locker room again, and whatever team plays together, plays with emotion, and plays hard and plays the right way. Watching the kids on the ice here, in the Jamestown end, we see a lot of hugs, the seniors and all that, before they drop the puck, and these kids know that this is it for them, and I just watched Rolson give Walls a big hug, and that they know this is the last time they get to put on a Blue Jay sweater. So I think playing for each other. And you've seen the same thing from the Century side too. These like Coach Olson said, they're loose, but they know this is the one last time. So make the most of it.
I didn't plan on tearing up before the start of this game here today, Dave, but really is emotional, isn't it, when you get into these situations?
Yeah, and I've got one coming up in the third place game. Saying goodbye to seniors, and it's never easy, and you tell yourself that you're not going to tear up and all that, but once it ends, and like you said, you got to turn the page on life a little bit, but you'll never forget any of these kids. I've never forgot a single player that has played for me over the years, and I still run into him, and we exchange texts and all that, and Facebook, and it's a special thing to be around high school sports and high school athletes, and it's like I said, these coaches will never forget these kids, and hopefully these kids never forget the lessons that they learned from these coaches.
The amount of blood, sweat, and tears that goes into the game of hockey, the amount of dedication, not only from the players, but from the parents and the families. Something really special. Century's in white. They travel from the right to the left today. The Blue Jays are in their blue, going from the left to the right to the left for Century, left to the right. If I didn't get that right the first time. I've only had one Red Bull so far here today, so bear with me off the opening draw that comes in on Walls, and he'll hang on to it. First save of the game, 6 seconds in. Century starting today with Hoyt Jubel in goal. Logan Kipe with Heck on the blue line. Leduc, Brubachen, and Vig up front here for the Blue Jays. Andrew Walls is in net. They start on the blue line with Struble and Sortland up front. All seniors. Romsdahl, Roldson, and Mayhus. Underway from the Ralph. 20 seconds in. Puck in the offensive zone here for the Blue Jays. It's fired in from the line. That one from Sortland. Taken away on the far side wing. Pushed up to the line again here by the Pats, and it's taken now here by Century and Kleingen. He moved it ahead forward up to center. Got it up there to Brubachen, who had a goal yesterday. And it comes away now on the near side half wing where it goes underneath the net where Brubachen steps up shop again. Tried to feed Max Vig out front, and the puck got past him. Comes all the way back up to center, where the Patriots have possession. They regroup back in their own territory now here with Kleingen. Kleingen hits the brakes, feeds it over now to Vig. Vig up to TJ Olson. Olson's in over the blue line, taken down underneath the net. That's the son of the head coach, Troy Olson, that we talked to today. I sure love talking to Ole. He's just a great guy and just been fantastic at our time with PSP Network, at our time that we've known each other in this game of hockey. Same with Matt Stocker, two great guys. Puck dumped in, loose out in front of the Century net, side of the goal. Opportunity was there, but the bouncing puck couldn't be wrangled by the Blue Jays. And it comes back up to center now, where it's taken here by Gavin Gerhardt. He fired it forward, but it's Kipe that gathers and sends it down into offensive territory for the Patriots, who peel off for a change. Stop of the play. We'll have a delayed offsides coming here. And the offsides call puts a stop of the play. Today's opening faceoff and first period brought to you apart by Northern Plains Heating and Air. Northern Plains Heating and Air has over 25 years of heating and air 25 years of experience as your heating and air experts. Factory authorized dealer for AeroSeal. No other choice to seal your heating and air game. The Northern Plains Heating and Air. Dave, do you like the tempo early on today?
A little sloppy to start, but, kind of what you would expect here. Kids maybe gripping the sticks a little bit. Haven't really settled in quite a way. One thing kind of surprised me, Nick. We're at day 3 of these kids playing in this rink, and, just the bounces off the kick plate still kind of throwing these kids for a little bit of a loop. And really the indirect passing game just isn't there. You know, like simple plays just aren't happening off the wall, and it just, you know, kind of, you know, just like we're seeing right now, just kind of a muck and grind off the wall and a chip and chase game so far.
Kind of what we saw with Jamestown and Minot High yesterday. Century and Legacy yesterday was one of the better played games I've seen all season. In with it comes Romsdahl. That's Von Romsdahl that took it underneath the net. Tried to feed Roldson here on the near wing. Patriots trying to push back to center. They do, traveling from the right to the left into the offensive zone. Ben Leduc will carry down. He's behind the net. Oh, he went hard into the wall. Leduc's down still. He had a goal yesterday for Century and a big one against Legacy. Helped tie that game up. Here's Max Mayhews back to center with Roldson. In over the Century line they come, but it's taken here by Max Vig, who sends it around to the far wing. Max has had himself a 4-point tournament, leading all defensemen in this tournament. He and Moser from West Fargo Cheyenne listed as a D-man here in this tournament. Both have 4 at the top of the list. Moser playing some forward here at the state hockey tournament. 2-on-1 Patriots wide open in front. Here's a drive, big pad save. Oh, that was robbery from Walls again. And the All-West Region goaltender on the doorstep, robbed Charlie Vig of what would have been the first.
And really a nice play there by Century, getting out of their own zone finally, you could say. Owen Struble for Jamestown tried to step up into the play, just kind of a nice chip play at the blue line, created a 2-on rush the other way. And, you know, this tournament I've seen a lot of 2-on-1 plays where the pass hasn't been able to get across the ice, you know, and we've seen a lot of mishandles. But to Walls' credit, he stood his ground, got big, and made a really nice save at the top of the goal paint.
Puck's in on the blocker side of the netminder, Hoyt Ubel, who starts today for the Patriots. Every game this year, Hoyt Ubel has played except for one. .896 save percentage and a .228 for the junior netminder. Century can look forward to him coming back to the blue paint next year. He has been fantastic, not only here in this tournament, but in this season as well. Numbers that aren't too shabby by any stretch of the word. He covers it up here and hangs on to it. Face-off coming to his glove side.
And never a bad thing, Nick, to have a junior goaltender in the net at the state tournament, knowing what you're going to get into the next season. You know, we at Cheyenne are graduating a senior, and has been a great example for the juniors that we have in our program. But you know, just the not knowing next year what you're going to have coming back, and for Troy Olsen to have a junior that's played a lot of minutes for him this year, you know, the future very bright in the net for the Century Patriots.
Maddock had a shot. Ubel had a blocker save. That one's pushed up to center and back in here for the Blue Jays, who go to work on the near side wing. Sent in. Out in front to the Century net. Left out in front. Here's a chance. That drive went wide on the backhander from John Belzer. He just missed. And the puck comes down underneath the net now where Mayhews has it. Now it's taken by Max Vig. He comes back away here to the near side. It's pushed back up to center ice. Excuse me, Mayhew's not even on the ice here for the Blue Jays, Dave. Puck comes back away underneath the goal line now where it's going to be poked here. Century offensive zone. Puck's away to the near side wing. It's Grand Forks Red River and Fargo South Shanley for the state title game here tonight. West Fargo Cheyenne and Davies will play next for third place here at the Ralph Engelstad Arena. Dave and I will have the call of the championship game here tonight from the REA. Puck on the near side wing. This is Mayhews now. He's going to fire. That one hit traffic. Gets his own rebound up to the point. Von Romsdahl across to Zalumskis. Out front for the Jays. Puck's taken here by Kipe. And Kipe starts the rush on the left wing. Kipe gets it back after Mayhews hounded him. Then it's dumped down into the Jays' defensive zone behind the goaltender. And the Blue Jays with Rolson will start their rush back to center. Across the neutralized territory, it came, went off of Charlie Vig. Mayhews stripped it from him. 2-on-3 drill now. Mayhews is in. Blocker save. Ubel got the waffle board on it, steered it aside, and it comes away down to Vig, who had it just for a moment. Bounces away to Mayhews. Center slot up to the point. Zalumskis sends it down to the corner. Played the boards of that kick. Played it, came out front, but it was taken there by Vig, and Vig hits the brakes here. My guess is that you're going to see Vig probably move on from the high school hockey world after this season, and probably right away after this year. I would guess that Vig will find a junior home in a quick order, living in the capital city with the Minot Minotauros up the road, only 100 miles away in the North American League. And of course, the Bismarck Bobcats, the longest standing North American League team in the NAHL. And just a great program there. I would guess that he's probably going to be done after this year.
Right. I would assume that he's going to have to be on Coach Sedevy's radar there with with the Bobcats. You know, like you said, the Bobcats really a tradition in junior hockey in the upper Midwest here. You know, a program like you said, well known, and a program known for developing some coaches that have had some success as well. So you know, you hate to see kids like him take off early, but at the same time, if they're going to good programs to improve their game, you can't blame them too much.
Here's the real question mark on that. Are they Mason Morelli good, or are they going to a AAA team somewhere in Idaho to pay thousands of dollars to play? And that's what I always say. And of course, Mason Morelli playing in the American Hockey League right now, one step and one call away from the Washington Capitals. Mason played for the Minot High Magicians back in his time. Good. Take it here now for Max Fig. He's going to skate in with it. He'll fire, save, Walls, rebound. Walls covers it up. He hangs on tight. And the shots in this game are now 5-3 Jamestown, making 5-4 with 2 opportunities there for the Patriots. And Andrew Walls again today has been fantastic.
Right, and you know, Jamestown got caught there in a little bit of a sloppy change, and that was recognized by senior defenseman Tyler Kleingen. And really, he just you know, sees his buddy standing up on the blue line and made a really nice stretch pass to him who walks in. But Walls has been solid so far. You know, his depth has been tremendous. I think really for all tournament, you know, really not a lot of goals that you could say that he probably should have stopped playing Red River and Minot. You know, kudos to him for being at the top of his paint and being active.
He's registered 9 against him here in this tournament. Most people would say, geez, he gave up 9 here in this state hockey tournament. Yeah, well, the Big Red Machine, Grand Forks Red River, now has 6 kids in the top 9 in the state in the scoring chase in North Dakota. Puck comes back away up to the neutral ice zone. Then it bumps into Zalumski's possession here for the Blue Jays. Back in his own territory. Walks over center and dumps it down. Point Newble under the net to Plant. Left it there for Vig. This is Max up to center. Tried to feed it off to Brubakken. Got ahead of him. And back on the retrieve. Here's Von Romsdahl, who moved it up the far side boards. Von gets it back. Throws it up the glass. Held in. Max Vig has it. Sends it out front. In front of the net, big kick save and a beauty there as Ben Leduc sent it in with the backhand. Puck's pushed up to center. Here come the Jays again on the offensive side. This is taken here on the near side wing, sent in by Rolson. He fired it towards the net, but wide. Bouncer down to Rolson down in the near corner. Underneath the net, down to Gretzky's office. Max Vig came over, interrupted that party, came down away here to Ben Leduc, and Leduc starts the rush up to center ice. He's got the motor on, 1 man to beat. Leduc skates down in front of the net. Oh, he ran into Walls. Walls goes into the goal, and a stop in the play as the official blows the whistle with 8:29 to play in this opening period scoreless on the BNC National Bank scoreboard.
And kind of a similar play we saw yesterday with Leduc coming through the neutral zone. Once he gets a little giddy up in his step, he's able to beat that defenseman wide, similar to what he did yesterday, and is able to get on goal. Walls stands his ground and ends up kind of losing an edge there. Leduc loses an edge into Walls. I'm kind of surprised, Nick, that face-off is going to be in Jamestown's end there, because I thought Leduc initiated the contact with Walls, but we're going to face it off here to Walls' left.
Officials for today's game, by the way, Nate Seeley along with Breck Heintz. Justin Anderson and Eric Gillicks are on the linesman duties here today. Puck's handled here for the Century Patriots offensive zone. Taken away there from Gerhardt. He's going to get it back now as he moves it up to center. Bouncer comes through the neutral ice territory. Away to Stockert. Ashton Stockert has it the circle on the blocker side. Sent it out in front to Nate Walls, but it's taken here by the Patriots. And Ritter will start the rush up to center. Hayden Ritter got it back over to the far side to Ronis. Ritter got it back and underneath the goal line. The Patriots go to work. Sending it out front, opening home. Bouncer comes all the way back into Century territory. We're back on the retrieve. Here is Carter Hack, the D-man. Hack moved it up to the blue line now where the Patriots go to work. Take it here at center. Nate Walls will just dump this one in. Jubel will play it with the toe of the stick where it's moved down from the D up to the forwards and up to the neutral ice territory on the rush. Here comes Astle. Astle's got 1 man to beat. He walks in, sends it onto the glove side. Pad save again from Walls with the pad that came down onto the ice surface. Registers his 6th save of the game. And Century had another opportunity there that you could probably consider almost grade A.
Yeah, and once again, even with his own defenseman kind of charging into him at the end, you know, Walls stands his ground. You know, you like the effort from Romsdahl coming back, but boy, if you're going to take your goaltender into the net with you, you know, might think of a different tactic getting back in your own end there.
Here come the Patriots from their own end with Kleingen. Up to the near side, poked free to center. Charlie Vig, who was the hero yesterday, handles here on the near side wall. Charlie takes it down underneath the net. Freed here, the Blue Jays have possession. Strubl's going to move it on ahead. Moved up to the far side line. Now it's taken here by Vig. Spins away, top of the circle. Vig's going to bump it back free up at the point. Walking across, firing. That one from Ben Leduc hit traffic. And now Leduc's going to have to regather at center. He does, and he skates in. He has Charlie Vig with him. Sends it out front. Here's Vig. Oh, he had a yawning goalmouth. Sent it wide of the goal. Puck comes back underneath the net for Vig. Wrap around side of the cage. Andrew Wall standing huge. Makes a save there. Now it's Max Vig. Back to Charlie underneath the net. Max lost a handle on it, and here come the Blue Jays. Up to center ice on a 2-on-2. Mayhus, the trailer, walking down from behind. Here's a wraparound opportunity. Struble was the one, make that Romsdahl rather, than trying to tuck it home. But now it's Sentry that carries up to center. The run and gun game is on. Max Vig goes down. Vig gets it back. Whacks at it. Walls makes the save. Out of the corner it comes. Here's a drive. That one might have hit the shoulder or the bar, but a nice opportunity coming there for TJ Olsen, who's back in. Olsen fires. Big save there, and all of a sudden it's like they took the old can opener. It started getting closer and closer to being ready. Time for the baked beans or the refried beans on the tacos, Dave. Boom goes the dynamite, and this thing open wide open.
Right, and maybe not so much to Coach Stockert's liking going they mostly like to use two lines, and that kind of a game really doesn't suit them too well. I would say Sentry more in line to play a skating game there, but these last couple shifts you've seen things open up, and 2-on-2, 3-on-2 rushes going back and forth both ways.
I have to ask you, can you believe we just used a refried beans reference here on the broadcast? That's something special, isn't it?
No, and honestly, Nick, I'm still a bit shocked that we've got someone listening to the game in the Czech Republic.
That's fantastic. Puck comes away to the near side wing. That's when you know you've had too much red pepper at Grand Forks. When all you can think about is refried beans here at the Ralph Engelstad Arena. Puck comes back underneath the net behind Hoyt Jubel. Take it here with plenty of time by Kipe. He's got it. He'll start the motor. Kipe goes up through center, right at the center ice dot. It comes across the center ice territory. Taken away here to the near side wing. I do apologize. I don't have a 21 on my roster for Century. I'll tell you who it is in a moment. Dietrich Mielander is who that is. Puck comes back away up to center. Astel's got it now, and Astel's going to carry it. Fires it on. Walls another save. Comes back away. Underneath the net, Astel working on it here from the corner, back up top to the point. Vig has it. Vig had his pocket pick there on the hard forecheck. Coming from 15 on the other side, Jordan Johnson. Back in with it for the Pats. Kleingen takes it down to the corner. Offensive zone, glove side of Walls. Scoreless on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. If you're just joining us today, thanks for joining us, by the way, on the PSP Network. Open out in front, one-time opportunity. Came to Andrew Brubach, and he fired it towards the net. It was knocked down. Comes back away now here to Ben Leduc, dancing in. Nice defensive play here on the near side wing, and getting a stick in the way of that rush was Von Romsdahl. It's pushed back up to center where it's Vig that has it tied up in front of the Blue Jay bench. Now the Jays have it. They'll dump it in. Jubel out of the net to play it. He got a stick on it, freed it here, and the puck is run and gunned again up to center where Hayden Ritter skated in. Taken by the Jays there, and Sortland's got it. Pushed back into the zone by Ben Leduc on the poke check. Comes away now here to the Blue Jays and Mayhus. Mayhus bumps it off the wall. Up to center it comes from Easton Romsdahl. Tried to free it there to Nate Walls, but it's taken by the Patriots. They tie up the neutral ice zone territory again. And in comes Charlie Vig with it. Taken back by Rolson, and Rolson with a backhand. Shuffles over to the near side. 43 points for Rolson on the season. That's a heck of a campaign. In the top 20 in the state of North Dakota for his scoring efforts this year. Mayhus underneath the net now. Mayhus worked it free, but it's Ronas that intercepts, and Ronas starts the motor out to center. Here's Ronas that carries in. Moves it down underneath the net to Walls on the glove side. Ronas freed it here. Came underneath from Ritter. Back to Ronas. Puck's taken on the near wing by the Blue Jays from their own defensive zone. They flip to center, but right back in comes Kipe and an offsides. charged on the Patriots. Scoreless on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. 2:37 left in the opening period.
Right, and now we're kind of seeing the ice tilt a little bit towards the way of the Century Patriots here. We'll see if Coach Stockard gets his third line out here. I believe he has. No, this is his second line, but some heavy legs the past couple shifts for Jamestown. Really not making the simple play and getting the puck deep once you get over the red and get to the blue. I think something you might see a change is once we get it to the red, we're not going to try to handle. We're going to get it deep and get to work, because they've ended up in some long shifts here just by not getting the puck deep and the puck transitioning the other way by Century.
Up top it comes. Here's a drive from the line. Offensive zone for the Pats. Another pad save for Walls. Underneath the net. Sent in front by Vig. Up to the point for Kleingen. Down to the corner. Ritter. Ritter's got it here. Some of the guns on the ice right now for the Patriots, including Max Vig, who's going to take it underneath the net. Poke check it away, free to the far side, trying to go to Olsen. Von Romsdahl trying to clear, but Ritter came off the wall with it. Then he's knocked off the puck. Came back away up to center from Nate Walls. And now it's the Patriots that have to regather in their own territory. Up to center and came here. Kleingen breaks free into the zone, hits the brakes, met by the all-region player Zalupskis. Then Nate Walls moved it ahead. There's a battle for it in between the top of the circle and the blue line that transitions back and forth like a game of ping pong for a moment. And now it's the Century Patriots that will dump it down and give chase after it, where the Blue Jays have the puck for just a moment. Taken out in front. Oh, Century had a chance. They threw it out in front of the cage, but it was the Blue Jays that gathered. And now Jamestown carries up to center, where there's a big hit late on John Belzer. And the puck is tied up inside the red line. Now it's Zalupski's out free with it, one-on-one against Vig. Vig rode him off the puck and blocked the shot. Down to a minute 10 to play here in our opening period. Nobody on the board yet to the third matchup of the year between the Century Patriots and Jamestown Blue Jays. Puck's at center ice, where it's taken here by the Jays. They'll dump down into Hoyt Ubel's glove side corner. Taken here by Max Vig, and Vig will bump it off the back of the net, trying to free it. Vig's got it again, and Vig will bring the motor this way towards us on the left wing, but he goes back to the right, where he reversed it now to Kleingen, the D-man, and up to center comes Ben Leduc again here for the Century Patriots. Leduc's in on the 1-on-2. Leduc regathers, tries to throw it out front. He can't quite do so. Leduc's got it again here. And now it's going to come back away at the wall, where Leduc pushes it off forward, but it's tied up by the Blue Jays. Under a half a minute to play opening period. We're down to 23 seconds to be exact. Up to center ice it's coming. Now for the Blue Jays, where they dump it off the glass and in. Struble in after it. Astel's going to clear it. And up at center ice now, it's taken here by Mayhus, but we'll have it offsides on the Jamestown Blue Jays. 10.7 left in the first period. Kids get ready to count them down. Scoreless game on the BNC Bank scoreboard.
Right, and a lot of the times with the Patriots, you hear a lot about the Vigs. The kid that I've been impressed with the past couple days for them is Ben Leduc. Just a magnet on his with his stick, with the puck on his stick there. Just just a gritty kid that wins battles. The viewers at home can't see, but he won about 3 or 4 puck battles on the wall that shift there, and has really kind of been the spark where there's not a lot of space out there for the Vig brothers, but I thought he was probably the Century's best player this period.
12-7, the shots on goal of the first, favoring Century. Andrew Walls again tested a little bit more here today from in close with some opportunities from Century, and he's showing why he's an all-West region player again here today at the state tournament. Dave, overall, your thoughts on that first period of play?
Right, I would say after one, you'd probably say advantage Century, but Jamestown is used to getting outshot. They're used to being in positions where they're going to have to rely on Walls a little bit to hold them in the hockey game. I thought, what was a little bit sloppy early, and even into the middle segments of the period, I think the game settled down a little bit. For Jamestown, I think that there'll kind of be a discussion about, guys, we just got to get the puck deep. We can't turn the puck over and create long shifts for ourselves defensively. Let's get the red and get it deep. Put it in Vig's corner and get someone to staple him on the wall. Check his hands a little bit. Prevent him from leading a rush out of the zone, and create a little bit of offense from below their goal line.
Yeah, and I don't think you want to get into the run and gun game with the Vig brothers Rose and Ritter and company here with Century, that's where they seem to have their most success.
Absolutely, and you have the puck on big stick with a chance to find a seam up the ice, and he's going to find it. He's been the one guy this tournament I've seen as defenseman goes that has really been able to make that pass with the ice being a little bit slow and a little bit soft. That it really hasn't bugged him. He's made some really nice hard saucer passes out of the zone when we've seen a lot of mishandles and sloppy passes from players, but the kid really hasn't let the ice bug him.
Good one so far today at the Ralph Engelstad Arena. 5th place trophies on the line for 2 West Region teams that are still standing here at the state tournament. Premier Chiropractic Intermission Report comes up next. Dave and I will break this game down even further here on the PSP Network presentation of the State High School Hockey Tournament. Patriots and Blue Jays scoreless at the end of one. It's North Dakota High School Hockey State Tournament coverage here on the PSP Network.
In southwestern and south central North Dakota, on any given day at any given moment, a Dakota Community Bank and Trust customer is logging in or signing on to do their online or mobile banking. We believe that community banking can blend both the past with down-home customer service in-house and the future with modern banking conveniences and technology for our customers anywhere, like here or here, all while honoring our long-standing tradition of community-first oriented banking here at Dakota Community Bank and Trust.
Getting that perfect slice is satisfying, fulfilling, and rewarding too. But we don't do it for fun. We do it for fresh. Slice to order makes a sub above.
Many of our clients come to us already accomplished in their lives and on the right track. However, whether it's in response to a life-changing event or you are nearing retirement, you can sleep well knowing that together we have planned for both life's opportunities and challenges. And no matter what happens, we are here to help guide you.
Hi guys, what can I get you guys today? I don't know what to order. Would you like to hear the story of how I learned what to order?
Whoa, what is that?
That's called a big rig, little lady, and that's the best dead-gum meal here at Shots Crossroads.
Don't wait just a gall-darn minute, Harry. You know darn well the best thing about Shots is breakfast. A 99 is how it's done.
You mean a 109?
No, I don't.
The real pros know that it starts with dessert. No matter what you get, everything begins with a caramel roll.
Hey, little dude. The truth is, there's a lot of right answers on this menu. My favorite is the golden crispy chicken strips and crinkle cut fries. Just listen to your heart, and you can't go wrong. Now go make that order, bud. Oh, hey, kid. Whatever you do, don't forget the ranch.
So what you're saying is, as long as I follow my heart, I can't make a wrong choice?
No, kid. The point of the story is order whatever you want.
All right. I'll take a big rig, a 99, a 109, an order of chicken strips with crispy fries, and I'd take a caramel roll to start with, please. Wait, and don't forget the ranch.
You remember where this goes?
I don't know.
Are you sure it was a clicking and not a zzz, zzz?
I think your quash litter valve's stuck.
Do you even have insurance?
If we soak it, it should be good.
No matter how much you know or don't know about your vehicle, trust the experts at Tires Plus. Real answers from real mechanics.
Inspections are free to ensure your vehicle is always in peak condition.
Thinking service? Think Tires Plus.
But Simon, what about mold? Agent Marlon Old. He holds the world record for fastest mold remediation.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by Legacy Financial Partners, the Bone and Joint Center, Ask Fitness, Thompson Larson Funeral Home, First Choice Physical Therapy, The Hoopster, KX News, Century Eyewear, 701 Realty, North Country Sportswear, Morelli's Distributing, Qdoba, Jersey Mike's Subs, Nathan Stremick Signal Realty, Eyes on Burdick, Chuppy Health, Subway, The Beaupre Law Firm, Minot's Finest Collision Center, State Farm Paul Siebert, Minot Hockey Boosters, Prestwich Orthodontics, Hub International, The UPS Store, Planet Pizza, Northern Plains Heating and Air, Roger Ward Moving and Storage, Ackerman S. Vold, Premier Chiropractic, Vibeto Orthodontics, Dakota Community Bank and Trust, Jerome's Collision Center, Tires Plus, First Western Bank and Trust, Jobbers Moving and Storage, Sport Clips, Shots Crossroads, Planning Team Financial Advisors, ServPro, BNC National Bank, Shields. Make sure to like and follow PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
Jamestown Blue Jays and Century Patriots. Two of the teams that you often think of inside of Western North Dakota when it comes to state tournament time. Certainly for the Century Patriots, they've been a team that just doesn't miss the state tournament. It's under the direction of Troy Olson. Matt Stockert, of course, the head coach, the first ever Mr. Hockey in the state of North Dakota. When he's got the talent, he certainly knows how to coach them and get them here to the state high school hockey tournament. And today for fifth place, it's scoreless at the end of one period played. Alongside of former North Dakota high school hockey goaltending standout, Mr. Dave Wilson, an All-West Region two-time selection, an All-State selection, and now an assistant coach for West Fargo Cheyenne. Let's talk on this for just a moment here, Dave. If you're Troy Olson or Matt Stockert through that first period, is there any major corrections right now? And what is the temperament in the locker room? I would guess that today is nothing but smiles and just a fun day in that room, I'd have to assume.
Right, and I think it's kind of a stay positive approach. You know, we've mentioned it earlier in the broadcast, and it's not Saturday night at the state hockey tournament, but you're playing for a trophy, and you know, you're playing for your program. You're playing for the youth program. The kids that came out here to watch you play are following the broadcast. I mean, it's, you know, there's a live TV stream of the game that people can watch throughout the state. So I mean, I still think it's a big moment for these kids, and I think it's staying positive, staying in the moment. I mean, you really only have 34 minutes left to play, and you know, you don't know if you'll ever get back here. You know, we talked to the seniors yesterday and said it's your last chance tomorrow, but as a junior, as sophomore, freshman, you may not be back here next year. You may not be back here the year after. I mean, I told the kids yesterday, I played in the old Ralph Engelstad Arena my junior season, and we didn't get back there the senior year, so that was the last time I ever got to play there. And you know, don't take it for granted. Get out there, play the game the right way, and when you're 40 years old, sitting up here in the press box reminiscing, you won't be saying what if. You'll know that the last time that I went out there and put my skates on for the Century Patriots or the Blue Jays, it was a pretty good moment.
Without a doubt. Well said. Good message across the board. In the season, these two teams played to a third and fourth place finish inside of the Western Dakota Athletic Conference. The 3 seed for the Century Patriots into the West Region Tournament. Well, that's where they finished, coming into the state tournament, out of the WDA tournament. 4th seed for the Blue Jays in the regular season. They were the 4 seed coming out of the WDA tournament this year. And it's two teams that really, when you look at them on paper here today, it's Century that scored 99 goals on the year. The Blue Jays have scored 90. Century's only given up 67. The Blue Jays have given up 87 on the year, but Both teams averaging around 3.5 to 3.8 goals per game. Jamestown gives up a few more on the season on that margin, but the reality is in a game like today in this grudge match, I think that it's going to be one of those goals and one of those games here today where I expect a teeter-totter match the rest of the showdown.
Yeah, I think so. And I think once, like you said, getting into the locker room and making an adjustment, I mean, really for Century, it's, hey, we're fine. Let's use our speed. And really with Jamestown, like what's our identity? I mean, we have the roles in line that can go, but with the other kids, let's get the puck below their goal line and let's grind away a little bit. Let's I mean, Jamestown hockey really isn't a skating end-to-end type, from what I've seen from Matt Stockard's team. It's really blue collar, playing the right way, playing good defensively, good goaltending, and they just don't want to get in a skating game, and I think they counteract that by just getting the puck deep, maybe keeping F3 a little bit higher in the zone, and limiting some of those Century outlet passes.
We talked about it in the pregame show with him earlier on today about giving up 47 shots to Minot yesterday, the West Region regular season champions. And we talked about how everything was perimeter yesterday for the Magi. And Stockard got a big smile on his face, and he said, there's 3 words that he tells his goaltender and his defenseman, and it translates over to the forwards, and that's stop the puck. And that's basically what they do, where they don't give you many great opportunities. What does Century need to do to crack through here in this second period to try to gain some of those opportunities?
I really think something that they did against Legacy yesterday was just, their high screen, high tip game where, maybe not having a guy right on top of walls in the crease where he's so good at sucking in those rebounds and his depth is so good. Maybe with the layered approach, when working the puck low to high and then really, creating chances at a little, 10 to 15 feet out from walls, getting deflections and getting high screens, to make him work a little bit more, because the toughest thing for a goaltender is to save a deflected puck. You're already, basically, your momentum is going one way and the puck switches direction. I thought Century had a great game plan doing that yesterday against Tyler Miller for Legacy, and it could be something you see a little bit more of. Honestly, I think, their stretch passing game and their short passing game in the neutral zone is always been impressive. I mean, it's their bread and butter, and I think creating rushes off that, I thought Leduc had a really good period bringing the puck up the ice, and maybe you'd want to see the Vig brothers get a little bit more involved. Charlie didn't have a lot of space that period, and rightfully so. Jamestown's not going to give him a lot of space, which means that somebody else is open, and that's what we say to our kids. If they're going to focus on a kid like Moser, he's got 2 linesmates with him that have to find the empty dead spots in the ice and create some offense.
Let's talk on your matchup coming up next here at the Ralph Engelstad Arena. Dave, one of the assistant coaches for West Fargo Cheyenne. A matchup with Davies today after a semifinal last night against Red River. And man, I think everybody in the state of North Dakota, no offense to anybody from Red River, including Bob Gillen, who sits right to our left here today and runs NorthDakotaHighSchoolHockey.com, a Red River graduate, but a lot of fans cheering last night when Cheyenne scored twice and early in that first period. 2-0 lead after 1. What was the mentality in the locker room for you guys after that first?
Well, it was a lot of it was really trying to get the kids to calm down, and honestly, the kids I thought did a great job of taking a deep breath in the locker room and saying, they know that they're playing a team with all sorts of kids that are probably going to play hockey at the next level, and that they can score 2, they can score 5, they can score 10. I mean, they with their get up and go. I mean, we had a lull there in the second period, which we kind of expected, and it was, how are we going to handle that adversity? Well, these are 16, 17, 18-year-old high school kids, and once the buzz saw that is the Big Red Machine got rolling, that they're really tough to stop. But I mean, one thing I was impressed with our team was we just kept battling, and one of our coaches said it after the game, I'll take this team into any rink in the state and in Minnesota, and I completely agree with that. Our kids battled, and at the end of the day, the better team probably won, but the fight that our kids showed, our goaltender, who's been a rock for us all year long, didn't have one of his better games, but at the same point in time, if he does have his better game, Red River probably still scores 4 or 5 goals on us. So a good high school hockey game, a lot of kind messages from people around the state pulling for us, and kind of knock them down. But at the end of the day, you pat Red River on the back, and what they've built and established at a program, that's pretty impressive.
We'll break down the title game in our next first intermission here tonight. And we'll have the call of the title game tonight. Dave and I will, right here on the PSP Network. Hope you join us for that here this evening. But let's talk about that third place game coming up next as both teams enter the ice surface again here for fifth place today. Davies and West Fargo Cheyenne. What was that series like this season in the regular season?
Well, a little side note for the series is West Fargo Cheyenne has never beat Davies. So, kind of a box that we'd like to check for our program is beating Fargo Davies, and what better place to beat them than at the state tournament. They swept us during the year in both games were pretty good games until we got later along in the contest. So we had our chances. We actually jumped up on them 2-0 in our home rink, and then from there they really just clamped down defensively and made things tough on us, and we kind of got sloppy late, and they ended up putting 8 goals up against us. So we're expecting a good tight game, and we're excited for the opportunity to get a top 3 finish in the state.
Should be a great game coming up here today. Davies and Cheyenne will play for third. Red River and Fargo South Shanley for the title tonight. We're underway for our second here in the fifth place game between Jamestown and Century. Scoreless at the end of one. And we enter the second now. Shots 12-7 favoring the Patriots. If you're just joining us today from wherever you may be, thanks again for hopping online to the PSP Network. Proud to bring you high school athletics across our great state of North Dakota. Puck's taken here by the Blue Jays, who are in blue uniforms today, and it's taken by Gerhardt. He dumped it into the Century zone, but now it's the Patriots with possession, and it's Max Vig back in his own territory. Vig sends it up here to Ritter, feeds it up now to center ice. Ronas is in with TJ Olson on a 2-on-2. Olson covered nicely there by Jared Zalumski, the all-region defenseman, showing why he was selected that way. Blue Jays transition up to center. Sortland's in with it. Now Sortland in towards the net. Sortland ridden off there by Kipe. Puck's freed here for the Patriots. Now the Blue Jays take it away. Underneath they come. Back up to the line. Take it here. Gerhardt fired. Hit traffic. Ritter's got it. He's going to poke it free on the near side wall. Dumped ahead forward and back. Come the Patriots here with Carter Heck in his own defensive end. Back over to Kipe. Kipe back over now here to Heck. Sends it around the far side wall. Zalumski's will hold at the point as that puck was rung all the way around. Taken now by Gavin Gerhardt, who sent it out towards the goal. Patriots trying to clear. They will now as they skate up to center. Gabe Dawson up to neutral ice. Met there by Gerhardt. Puck's sent free now where it comes away back to Kipe in his own territory. Kipe sends it free again to Dawson here on the near wing at center in front of the benches. Moved it into the offensive territory. Patriots will give chase, but it's taken here by Von Romsdahl in his own territory. Romsdahl with a backhand, trying to feed it on the far wall to Grant Lundy. Got it back to Zalumski's on the near side. And Zalumski's rides the boards away to the near side wing, where he now flips to center. And the puck comes up now to Max Vig back in his own territory. Vig to his deep partner. Take it here across the neutral ice zone by Kleingen. Moved ahead forward into the zone by the Patriots out front. Brubakken walks in. He fires and a big save there. Down to the pillows again. Andrew Walls shuts the door for the 13th time today. That would be considered a quality scoring opportunity.
Right, and just like we talked about in the intermission, what did Century want to do? And I think we just saw it. A great play by Max Vig, on a little indirect play in the neutral zone. And Ben Leduc with a really nice chip play to send his buddy in all alone on Walls, but yet again Walls is on the top of his paint there, ready to make a save. Offensive zone scrum here for the Patriots. Now it's taken by the Jays. They're going to launch all the way back into Century territory. Mayhew's in on the rush against Vig. Sent out front. That one tried to feed Roldson, but it was taken away. And now Charlie Vig throws it across the neutral ice zone, where it's taken by the Jays, and they dump right back in on Hoyt Jubel. Jubel left it aside, taken here again by Kleingen, and Kleingen will start the motor. He goes back up to center. Lead pass there for Charlie Vig. He's going to try to break free. He does. He's on a breakaway. Vig walks, shoots. He scored. Charlie Vig, second in 2 games, and the Patriots have the first lead of the day. And really, Jamestown was in a fine position there in the neutral zone, and just to play a little bit of miscommunication between the Jamestown defensemen, kind of end up looking at each other, and Vig just hits the seam, and a kid like that, when he gets in all alone on your goaltender, he looks like he's not going to miss. I mean, really impressive for a sophomore. When he knew exactly what he was going to do when he got to the top of the dot. Made a really nice play, and Walls sliding to his right almost got the pad there, but Max Vig finishes off another nice opportunity for Century.
one of the top producers in the state of North Dakota as a sophomore. Let's listen in.
Charlie Vig. That's Vig, unassisted goal for the Patriots. Goal time, 3:08.
Charlie Vig unassisted for the Century Patriots, who lead 1-0 now with 13:31 to play in our second period on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. 31 points as a sophomore. This puck comes all the way down to the other end of the ice surface, and an icing called on the play. Stan was one of the greats to play at Bismarck High. Then he went on to play at the University of North Dakota for the Fighting Sioux. Charlie with 31 points as a sophomore, pretty high number. You'd expect that if he sticks around by the time he's a senior in high school, that number could maybe even be doubled or tripled by that time.
Right, and the one thing we talked about it yesterday was just, just the body type of the kid. I mean, he doesn't look like a sophomore down there. He gets in the weight room and puts about 10 or 15 pounds on in the off season, and my goodness, you are you are going to have a guy to deal with next year around the West region.
Well, not only the size of him, but the foot speed that comes with that size, and the decision making is the intangible X factor here for Charlie Vig and his brother Max on the blue line. They just have the hockey sense. Puck's taken off the glass on the far side wall. Bounced ahead forward. Patriots trying to regain possession of their own territory. They do now with Max Vig, who goes back over to the far side wing. Kleinja tried to free it ahead forward. Bad bounce off the wall for the Pats. And it comes to Zalumskis, who fired it just wide. Karams all the way back down into Jamestown territory. And Mayhus is back on the retrieve here. Mayhus back to Zalumskis on the wall, far wing through the center ice zone now. Mayhus back in. He'll turn and fire. Jubel save. Rebound shot into the catching mitt. It goes. And on a point-blank chance, Romsdahl was stopped by the glove of Hoyt Jubel on the 10th shot of the game from the Blue Jays.
Right, and maybe not a rebound that Jubel wants to give up there too. Just kind of, made the initial save, but kind of kicked it back out towards the right dot there. And Romsdahl on a play where it looked like Jubel was a little bit screened, kind of puts it right back into the pads. Century will take that break on a really clean look.
Back the other way, out of the clear attempt, walking down, firing, and then running into the goaltender. Ritter made the wrist shot, and then he collides into the net with a Blue Jay. That's Easton making von Romsdahl, who went down there. Net came off its moorings, and a face-off coming to the blocker's side of the netminder, Andrew Walls.
Right, and maybe an adjustment now that Jamestown needs to be making is when Century's defensemen have full control and are ringing the puck on the wall, they may need to back out. I mean, they've gotten caught now on about 3 or 4 different chances where Walls has had to stand tall. So maybe a little bit more passive approach for them when Century's got full control in their end, because you can only give up so many 3-on-1s and before a couple end up in the back of your net.
Roldson's out to center. He's been held fairly quiet this hockey game today. He hasn't scored yet here in this contest. TJ Olson back in with it. Olson's going to take it. Snaps it towards the net, went wide, comes back up to the line where it's taken here by Heck. He sends it back underneath the net. Worked around back by Ronas, back to the point. Heck again, sends it down, went wide. Second period of play brought to you in part by our friends at the UPS store. Big, oh my goodness, Kipe came in. He ran into Nate Walls on the far side. And what will we have here? Is that a charging penalty coming possibly?
Yeah, and from where we're at, way up here in the boonies, that actually looked to me like looks like he's going to call roughing on that, Nick. But it looked like a clean hit to me. But the ref is a lot closer to that play than we are, and maybe he felt a little bit of unnecessary contact. The old school hockey player in me likes to see that contact, and it's something that we don't see as much of in the game anymore. It seems like every big hit is a penalty call nowadays, with the emphasis on avoiding head contact. So. Jamestown power play here with 11 minutes left in the second period.
You really do have to control yourself in this game these days compared to what it used to be. A hit like that where the helmet sometimes would get popped off like the Rock'em Sock'em boxing game, that has kind of gone away now here as time continues on. Do you like that sense of trying to protect the athletes while taking that away? I know that you and I, we both just said that we like the old school affair, but the reason of doing so probably makes some sense. Here's Rolson out front, fire, save, rebound, side of the net. Oh, just missed wide. Taken by Walls back to the far side point. Now Zalewski's will come back to it in a second, Dave. Back at the point. Strubal's got it. Fired. Hit traffic. Serve Pro power play on the ice here for the Blue Jays. Here with 10:34 to play in the second. They trail 1-0 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. Into the zone, taken down by Struble. On angle shot, big rebound, taken down by TJ Olson. He tried to flip to center. He does. Gavin Gerhardt's got it here. He moved it across to the far wing. Zalewski's again. Across the slot it comes. Here's a drive. Gerhardt fired it in. Ubel made the save. 10:15 to play in the second. Serpro power play out for 45 more seconds. Here for the Blue Jays trying to tie it at 1.
Right, and really, a game that was tilted a little bit towards Century, that this power play has kind of picked things up here for Jamestown. Gavin Gerhardt and Owen Struble with nice plays on the blue line, getting the puck to the net, and looks like Jamestown's buzzing a little bit here again behind Century's net.
They certainly are. Sortlet fired one in. Another pad save came from the netminder Ubel. We're at the 10-minute mark here in the second period. Shot fired in. That one from Mayhus. Checked the stick to see if it was broken. Came back over to Mayhus on the near side wall now. He's up top of the circle, sends it in, high-range shot, and the save was made. 9:51 to play in the second, 21 seconds of Serpro power play time remained for the Blue Jays. They trail 1-0.
And Ubel, a little earlier we talked about he had a trouble controlling a rebound, and this power play he's been really good and sharp and crisp and putting his rebounds in good spots. And on that play there, we have a Jamestown player up front. If he gives up a rebound there, it's likely in the back of his net. So a credit to him cleaning it up and knowing where to put those rebounds in safe places and when to suck those rebounds in.
Power plays on for 8 more seconds. The Serpro power play, the first of the game here today for Jamestown. Nobody had a power play in the first period. This is our first of the second. And it will go for it all here as the Patriots kill it off. 9:22 to play here, middle period. Bad turnover here. Brubakin's in, fires all big pad save. Walls took that one off the far side wall. Zalewski's coughed it up, and a shot came from Brubakin looking for his second goal in 2 days. Meanwhile, Mayhus is back in. By himself, fired on. Save was made from Ubel. Transitioning back now. Here come the Patriots into the offensive zone. Brubakin turns it to the far side. Dropped it back out front. Went away there for Mason Regal. Taken off now here by Zalewski. He's trying to flip it down the ice, but it's the Patriots that put up the fort at center, and they carry back in here with Heck. Heck will spin it down to the near side. Bounced away to the far. Underneath the goal line for Ben Leduc. Leduc, top of the circle. Dropped it down into the corner. Tried to feed it off there to Olson. Back in after it is Leduc at the half wall. Shuffled it down and deep. Comes now away to Ritter out in front of the net. Still loose in front of the blue paint. Still loose here in front of Walls. They scrub for it. In on Walls. The shot came in. Save, rebound, shot from the line. That one knocked aside as well. This puck is launched 200 feet. Well, the icing with 8:15 to play in a 1-0 second period. Patriots are on top.
Yeah, and there's a play there as a goalie coach and a coach who works a lot with defensemen. Jamestown got outnumbered down low there, and really when the puck's in that position in your end, I mean, you want those wingers to come down and help your center and your defenseman there. And really when Century's putting 3 and 4 guys in front there, Jamestown, you've got to collapse there. That's a situation you've got to protect home first before you're worried about where to break the puck out. So kind of avoided a little bit of a bullet there for Jamestown getting away there, because Century did have numbers on Jamestown down low.
Pucks away in the offensive zone for the Patriots. 7:51 to play in a 1-0 second. Century trying to add to their lead on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. Puck comes back away now to the Pats in the offensive zone, but it's taken and knocked out to center on the rush. Back the other way, Maddock trying to get the stick on it, but it's Max Vig that takes it, gathers behind his net. He hits the brakes, and now Max Vig will feed it free to Askell here on the near wall. Tried to go across the center ice slot, taken away there off the stick of Lundy, but now it's the Patriots and Kleingen who carry back into the offensive zone. Kleingen down to the corner, shuffled it back behind the net. Nobody home in Gretzky's office here for the Patriots, and it's room now for Struble to move. He takes it up off the glass and sends it down. This will be an icing. 7:08 to play in the second. 1-0 Patriots. Let's go back to the head contact thing for just a moment here, Dave. Obviously, trying to avoid the concussions and some of those things that are the nasty things in hockey. But what does that do when they take that away from the game for that safety concern?
It's tough. Now with the 5-minute majors and what that can do to a team. I mean, at times, before the quarterfinal round, I'm sure we're not the only coaching staff that said, guys, we can't have the big hit today. Don't go looking for the big hit. I mean, in North Dakota high school hockey, there's, most of the time there's no replays on those big hits. So, I mean, if we get in a position where we think that, the official thinks, well, maybe it was a head contact and it wasn't even close because the kid had his chin strap unbuckled. I mean, it's just more of you just say you don't want to give up them a 5-minute opportunity on something where it's up to the referee's discretion. I guess the onus is on the kids. The rules are in place for a reason. Like I said, it's really, it's gone to a point where even in the NHL, every big hit, there's a repercussion for that now too. And if you make a good, clean hit, you're probably going to end up fighting someone. And there's guys that get paid a lot of money, like Reed Lowe used to skate out there whenever one of his buddies, was on the receiving end of a big hit.
It's always interesting, that topic of conversation. I'm a hockey purist, an old school guy. Here's a drive off the icing face-off that comes in on the goaltender Walls. He'll make the save, and that's save number 18 here today. Blue Jays still trail 1-0 with 6:08 left in the second. I'm a hockey purist, and I like the big hits, of course. I don't want to see anybody get injured. I'd like to see the stats on what the number of those concussions actually is. What's worse, into the boards or the open ice stuff? That's really the question mark there. Puck comes back up to center. The game for some time now has been transitioning into more of a high-scoring open ice, kind of like you think about a girls' hockey matchup, which is certainly entertaining to watch as well, where that hitting taken out. At some point, do you think hitting's just officially removed from the game, Dave?
Yeah, and it seems like the past few years, when I was officiating back in Williston, when all of a sudden we take away checking from Pee Wee hockey. So now that time where those kids are able to learn how to do things in the right way. Well, now we moved it up to where, okay, well, now you're going to start checking in 8th and 9th grade. And I used to be a teacher and was around plenty of 8th and 9th grade boys, and introducing something to them at that time isn't always the best. The hormones are kind of running wild a little bit, but I honestly could see it at some point in time, for the USA Hockey and the younger ranks, something where, and like you said, we're seeing less and less and less of it. The days of the big hit and all that are coming to an end. Do I like to see it? No. I would agree. Being a hockey purist, we like good physical hockey, as we watched North Dakota play all those years in the WCHA and now the NCHC. But you have to adapt to the changes in the game, and one of those changes is the head contact and trying to do away with the CTE and concussion type injuries.
Drive from the line from the Blue Jays, knocked down, comes to Zalomski's far point, sent it underneath the net, back and behind Jubel. 1-0 Century on the BNC National Bank scoreboard, 4:38 to play in the second. Puck's chipped free on the near side wall, comes back down here off the wall for Jordan Johnson. He's got it, but he's taken into the wall there by Heck, and Heck freed it on the far wing. Good coverage again from the Blue Jays, though. They take it and fire it in with John Belzer. Comes away to the near side half boards. Flurries in this game of up and down action, and then flurries in this game where it's just been mucked up in the middle just a little bit here today. That murky water, if you will, at center ice that's been frozen here. And right now, Century's all right with it, leading 1-0 here with 4:04 to play in the second period. Puck comes back to center where it's going to be launched ahead by the Jays. Back in is Kleingen in his own end. He hits the brakes back behind the net. Tried to feed it out front. Don't take it away. Nate Walls has it. Turns it on. Just missed the net wide. Puck comes back away down to Vig. Far side wing. Dropped it back to Kleingen. Hammers it around the end boards, and it comes all the way up to center. Brubach is scrumming forward here, but it's taken on a nice effort there from Regan Sortland to free it. Now the Century Patriots will jump down into the offensive zone and give chase here after the dump in. Puck comes back away up to the neutral ice territory. Big hit on the wall near side wing off of Ben Leduc, and then he grabbed the puck and sent it in. Century back at center now. Ritter's got it here. Ritter dumps it in. Catching it of Walls. He'll hang on. 3:14 to play in the second. BNC Bank scoreboard reads 1-0. Century still on top.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, kind of a game of ebbs and flows. When the game has gone end to end, you could say advantage Century Patriots with their skating game and their speed. But really, when Jamestown has cracked down in the neutral zone and gotten the puck below the goal line, they've been just fine. We've seen a little bit more physicality here, towards the latter parts of the second period, and from that physicality, you're seeing some chances.
Offensive zone for the Blue Jays. Mayhus was run into out in the center slot in front of the goal of Ubel. Puck comes into the glove of Ubel. He's going to hang on to it. 3 on the dot to play here in the second period. 1-0 Century on top of the Blue Jays as Mayhus will step in against TJ Olson to take the draw here. On the blocker side, that'd be the left wing and the left side of the radio dial if you're joining us here today. Puck's wrapped around the far side boards, held in by the Blue Jays. Down to the corner here for Rolson. Rolson's got it down and deep, taken here by Olson. Out in front, Mayhus wide open, block shot comes there, and a nice play coming from the D-man Carter Heck, the senior, looking to end his career with a win today. Puck comes all the way back into Blue Jay defensive territory. On the near side wall, TJ Olson scrumming for it. Puck's taken by the Jays. They launch at 200 feet. This will be an icing. 2:28 to play the second. 1-0 Century. And Dave, at this point in the tournament, on a day like today, on a Saturday afternoon for a fifth place trophy, how much is the gas in the tank a factor here?
Oh, absolutely. And it's something that is looked at, with the region tournaments and the way the formats that those are. Three games on back-to-back weekends. You're talking, you've got 6 games in seven days for some of these kids now, and I mean that's a lot of hockey. In the East region, we start our region tournament on Tuesday, just to give the kids a bit of a break before the back-to-back of Friday to Saturday, and we've noticed that we do see a little bit more jump on those Saturday play-in games, with the kids have a little bit more gas in the tank. But yeah, once we're going to get to the third period here, both of these teams are mostly 2-line teams, and sprinkle their third line in. I think it's something that, like you said, I think the gas is going to be extremely low. These kids have played hard. There's never had to question the effort of either of these teams. The kids are playing hard right now. So I think for sure in the third period you could see an issue. Even here we're going to see an icing on Century on really just kind of a tired pass play there, where a kid on a long shift just can't make an outlet pass, and that now he's going to have a face-off to Ubel's right.
90 seconds left in the second. 1-0 Patriots lead on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. That EDC tournament, that is an interesting way to do it, and a way that a lot of people would prefer. If you're the higher seed, you get a home ice advantage and a game in your own building for the quarterfinal matchup of that regional tournament. In the West region, we've seen it for years where that tournament is either held at the Mesa Arena in Minot or the All Seasons Arena in Minot back in the old school days, or the VFW Sports Center in Bismarck. I have to tell you that tournament this year, puck's taken away here by the Blue Jays offensive zone only for a minute, and getting it back now is Max Fig here on the near wing. He reverses it to his D partner, Kleingen, back behind the net. We saw a rocking crowd for the region championship with Minot and Legacy this year. The Mesa Arena holding 2,400 people. Guesstimate was around 2,200 that day last Saturday, a week ago. Sent down in front here by Max Vig. Sent it back over. Ben Leduc almost tucked it in. Now Charlie Vig sent it in front for Leduc. Couldn't quite pull the trigger there. Brubakken at the point, holds it in. Brubakken down to the corner and back into his wing position. He's got it here. Brubakken stick handling, side of the net, down to 30 seconds in the second. Max Vig back to Brubakken on the wall, sends it far point. Up top, Kleingen sent it in, went wide. Puck comes back away now to Olson. He goes back up top. Kleingen's got it again. Kleingen fires. Whistled wide on the blocker side. Kids caught him down. We're at 14 seconds here in the period. Back up top down to Vig. Vig's got it here, top of the circle. Ritter trying to feed it out front. Nate Walls has it. He'll clear to center, and that should do it for the period. This one's in on goal on Ubel. Doesn't even quite get to the top of the blue paint. And the horn will sound. We are officially through 2 periods of play here from the Ralph Engelstad Arena. 1-0 at the end of 34 minutes. 17 more to remain here in the season for the Blue Jays and the Century Patriots. Can Century stay on top and win a 5th place trophy? Or will it be the Blue Jays that come from behind to go back-to-back as consolation champions? Dave and I will break this one down when we come back to the Ralph. We'll also preview the state title game that comes up tonight between Red River and Fargo South. Here in this one, Blue Jays 0, Century Patriots 1 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. Second intermission is next.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by Legacy Financial Partners, the Bone and Joint Center, Ask Fitness, Thompson Larson Funeral Home, First Choice Physical Therapy, The Hoopster, KX News, Century Eyewear, 701 Realty, North Country Sportswear, Morelli's Distributing, Qdoba, Jersey Mike's Subs, Nathan Stremick Signal Realty, Eyes on Burdick, Chuppy Health, Subway, The Beaupre Law Firm, Minot's Finest Collision Center, State Farm Paul Siebert, Minot Hockey Boosters, Prestwich Orthodontics, Hub International, The UPS Store, Planet Pizza, Northern Plains Heating and Air, Roger Ward Moving and Storage, Ackerman S. Fold, Premier Chiropractic, Vibeto Orthodontics, Dakota Community Bank and Trust, Jerome's Collision Center, Tires Plus, First Western Bank and Trust, Jobbers Moving and Storage, Sport Clips, Shots Crossroads, Planning Team Financial Advisors, ServPro, BNC National Bank, Shields. Make sure to like and follow PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
The magic of what we do really comes down to combining different aspects of patient care. Here at Premier Chiropractic, we love combining soft tissue work, the adjustment, and exercises together. We found that this gets the best results for our patients. We have 3 chiropractors to fit the needs of the entire family, a rehab area for our exercises and equipment for any athlete to improve performance. Give us a call and we will get you back to doing what you love.
Are you moving your business or your home across the town or across the country? We know it can be stressful. To ensure your possessions arrive on time, intact, and on budget, make your move with Jobbers Moving and Storage. Jobbers can help you with every aspect of your move. With our efficient step-by-step approach to move management, we can tailor a plan to suit your needs and schedule. With locations in Bismarck, Fargo, Minot, and Aberdeen, Jobbers Moving and Storage is your choice. Visit jobberswarehouse.com. It's Jobbers Moving and Storage.
I'm a grateful person on a lot of levels. I've been given so many great opportunities. But most of all, even as a little kid, I was taught a set of values. Like tools for life, hard work, responsibility, and the key to making it all work, commitment.
First Western Bank and Trust. You can bank on us.
Ackerman Esvold, your neighbors, friends, and family who are working for you. The local team with local availability and accountability for all of your engineering, architecture, environmental, transportation, and land development needs. Your project can rely on Ackerman Esvold. Find them online at ackermanesvold.com. When you start your project, talk with Ackerman Surveying and Associates. Our experienced surveying team guides you in the right direction with planning, platting, and lot and boundary surveys. The trusted name in land surveying, the trusted name in architecture and engineering is Ackerman Surveying and Ackerman Esvold. Find them at ackermanesvold.com.
What you're witnessing actually happens. This is a sad story about bad math.
Bad math?
Does your online company include mounting?
You can't beat the online pricing.
When you add the mounting, the shipping, and all the extras, it's just simple math. We guarantee the lowest prices. Our Plus plan is simply better, a less expensive way to buy tires. Thinking tires? Think Tires Plus.
Dave and I just spoke off air about how at the start of Thursday, you have the high anticipation and you're extremely excited to get to the state high school hockey tournaments. Can't even wait for it to begin. And the blink of an eye, all of a sudden, it's over. For these two teams right now, 17 minutes is all that they have left here. Bittersweet time. Then what do we do, Dave? That's the big question. For me, it's dirt track racing, some basketball coming up. But for these seniors here in this lineup, baseball, don't forget about baseball. Of course, I like golfing quite a bit, but for these seniors here today that get to play their last game in a high school hockey uniform, definitely a bittersweet day. What's the message in the room right now with these coaches getting prepared for the final 17 minutes of some of their seniors' high school careers?
Well, I think that's just it. But there's 17 minutes, you know. A couple minutes ago, you were telling your daughter Nora here, sitting right between us, that day, we're going to go eat in 17 minutes. Well, these seniors, it's 17 minutes, and that's it. You're going to take that jersey off for the last time. The message of the seniors is, hey, it's one last period for the season, and for the underclassmen, it's 17 more minutes. You play for the seniors. Everything you have this period is for those brothers that you've strapped it on with since last October into the November's hockey season. And like we said, it's a bittersweet time. The end of the season coming around. The spring sports are going to get going here in a couple weeks, but always bittersweet at this time of the season. But 17 more minutes, and if the kids can't be excited to go back out for one more period, you don't have much of a pulse in this situation.
Well, we sit at a 1-0 score on the BNC National Bank scoreboard through the 2 periods of play. And only 1 goal to confirm here in this hockey game, and 1 goal to report to this game. Charlie Vig picked up his 31st point of the year. It came at 3:08 of the second period. An unassisted goal. Charlie's got 31 points on the year. And we sit on a 1-0 score right now. Century leading, out shooting Jamestown 22-18. Overall, really good hockey game here today.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been pretty impressed with the effort from both teams. Still a little bit sloppier than I think both coaches would like to see. And it's just a different atmosphere. The rink and the soft ice and the kick plates. One thing I think our kids have said this weekend that I can appreciate back at our home rink is, boy, I am never going to say anything negative about the ice in our home rink or the kick plate or the boards. And the things that we take for granted during the season is some of the things you get to the state tournament, and it's a little bit different with the size of this facility and all that. A little bit warmer, a little bit softer ice. And I mean, I'm really impressed that the college players are able to handle with the pace of that game this kick plate. Something that we don't notice is how well those players are able to handle it, because it's been a little bit tough on these high school players.
Certainly has been. Dave, let's preview the state championship here tonight. Boy, we're going to see 2 different styles of hockey tonight between Grand Forks, Red River, which is just a buzzsaw, run and gun, get it deep, and then let the offense do what the offense does, and that's score goals. That's Red River, the Big Red Machine. They go against Fargo South Shanley, who last night when we watched that game together, you called it play-by-play on what exactly was going to happen with the way that they set up that defensive trap and a 2-1-2 kind of a system that they run defensively is almost mesmerizing. Listening to you say, watch them just go back to the defenseman, partner to partner, back up, create space, dump and chase, leave a guy high, and the next thing you know, Davies just couldn't clear the zone with it last night. What is it about Fargo South and Red River's game plans here tonight that's so intriguing from a hockey perspective here tonight? Well,
I think Coach French really said it well in the Grand Forks Herald, and it's funny because they're the one team that can skate with Red River. There's not a lot of teams in North Dakota that can say that, and Fargo South Shanley with Nestler and Boren and Lang, they've got kids that can skate with them, but at the same time, the kids, to their credit, really buy into that defensive structure system that Coach French has in place for South Shanley. I mean, they're fine winning a hockey game 1-0 when against Fargo Davies, they got a 2-goal lead there, and there wasn't really a sniff for Davies. There was 5 players buying into a defensive zone structure and a neutral zone structure where Davies has got to dump the puck in. Fargo's South defenseman can go get it from Olsanowski, sets it up the wall, chip out, and then we get into our structure again. He's got those kids buying in that, it doesn't matter if we score 8 goals. If we score 2 goals, we're fine. And when Davies even pulled their goaltender with 2 or 3 minutes left, he said, well, South is going to end up getting one because Davies can't get the puck over the red line and into the zone through that structure. And sure enough, South got 2 empty net goals to put that hockey game away. For Red River, it's how do we neutralize that? In the 2 games during the regular season, it was advantage Fargo South because they were able to create turnovers when Red River tried to skate through the layers, and South Shanley, capitalized on those scoring opportunities. In the EDC championship game, I think where Red River won 8-3, and Dean French, for whatever reason, started his backup goaltender that evening. I think South Shanley got away from that a little bit, away from that structure. So every puck is going to be really tightly contested tonight. I'm highly anticipating a 1-goal hockey game. Maybe not so much of a skating game per the decision of Fargo South Shanley, but it should be a fun night and a good night for North Dakota high school hockey.
To me, the X factor here, and you hate to say it about a high school hockey player, but Jenkins against Olsanowski. And now this is a matchup where, on paper, they're pretty competitive on paper. Now, when you watch those 2 kids play in the semifinals last night and all season long, you've got Jenkins that comes into the state title matchup here tonight as a kid that has done very well here this season for the Red River Rough Riders in the goal paint. But on the season, it's Jake Jenkins that's got a 1.5 goals against average and a 90% save percentage. Tremendous numbers in the tournament. Noel Olsanowski, 1 goal against average and a 93% save percentage on the tournament so far through 2 games. Olsanowski's got 12 shutouts. This year alone, David, can you imagine that number? And Jenkins on the other side last night was about as shaky as a newborn lamb. That will be the X factor tonight, to my mind.
Absolutely, and I've kind of said it all year amongst the coaches and all that. Really, I mean, with the defensemen and the forwards they have, and the senior leadership, I mean, Red River doesn't need spectacular goaltending to win the state championship. They need good goaltending, and really, we talked as a coaching staff when we got up 2-0 on Red River on 2 goals that we really didn't earn. That really woke up that team, and it would have almost been better for us if it was 0-0 going into that second period, because those guys just, they buckled down when it was 2-0 on 2 pretty soft goals that Jenkins came up, and they really rallied. And honestly, I think we got 1 look that really the rest of the game that we scored on, but from there they just, they buckled down and tightened things up defensively, and just, hey, we're not going to dump the puck anymore. We're gonna play with the puck, and we're not gonna give it back. And they're really good at that possession game and keeping things in front of them, and keeping them away from their goaltender.
If you had to put a red pepper grinder on it tonight, who do you pick in the state title matchup?
I'm gonna say Red River 4, Fargo South Shanley 3.
Wow, it's going to be a fun one tonight. Dave and I will have the call. Join us for our pregame show tonight at 6 p.m. sharp. We'll break it down and have the play-by-play for you folks tonight here on the PSP Network. Hope you join us for that here tonight. 2 minutes away from the start of the 3rd period. 1-0 Century leading Jamestown for 5th place at the State High School Hockey Tournament. Join us for the 3rd period. We face it off next here on the PSP Network.
I wasn't really thinking about the shots, honestly. It's just the shots came to me. Derek and Eric especially had some great drives, which led to some great kicks. Shout out to them. It feels good.
For you to come out here from a defensive effort against Eagle staff, I mean, you're way smaller than him. Obviously, I mean, how did you get yourself pumped up for that?
Well, Coach has a thing that says height doesn't measure heart, and I strongly believe in that. I got the heart, and it doesn't matter if I got the height or not.
That line, good luck next week.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, great job. I don't have the height, but I got the heart. That was a pretty cool sign right there by Jagger Gunville. Back up to you guys.
Yes, and now.
All right, bring it up. Come on. Someone's got to call a play. All right, let's go. I right, zoom, spider 2, Y banana. You don't like that one? Okay. I right, 40 power?
No.
You don't want that one either? All right, go kickoff. Get out of here. Let's go.
First Western is your independent community bank with all the online conveniences you want and an experienced team you can count on.
First Western Bank and Trust. You can bank on us.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
The best part about working at BNC National Bank is developing relationships. I love working with people. We've been here for over 25 years.
We've grown just like our communities we're in.
But we still have that personal connection with our customers.
And that's why we can find the best solutions for them.
It feels great seeing projects around the community and knowing we're a small part of making that happen.
We're helping people buy their first homes.
Plan for the future.
From startups to big business.
We're part of the community.
And we're proud of it.
Yours truly, BNC.
And finally, Agent Smith. He's in charge of restoring your property to its original state.
Nothing Century at the end of 2 periods played. The 5th place matchup in the state high school hockey tournament. It is time for the 3rd here this afternoon. Nick Holberg alongside of Mr. David Wilson, one of the assistant coaches of West Fargo Cheyenne High School Hockey, also a former Mountain High Magician All-State goaltender for the Magi back in the late 90s, early 2000s. Happy to be here on the call with you, partner. Should be a fun 3rd period. A big special thank you as well to my daughter, Nora Holberg, that is on the call with us here today. A lot of fun having you up in the press box at the Ralph Engelstad Arena. What do you think of this place? Just a shoulder shrug and a small smile. You'll appreciate it, I promise you, as you continue to grow older. A lot of fun having you here, honey. Dave, next goal wins, you said, in this contest, even though Century's up 1-0 here in this showdown. That just feels this way today, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I really think, and you know, I was wrong in that matter yesterday when I kind of thought that with Legacy and Century, I might have said that 2 or 3 times in my mind that, well, I guess the next one wins. But I really think the way the Century's play defense, there's a chance in alone. Oh, great save by Walls.
Oh, my goodness. Walls robs Charlie Vig with the pad. That was almost like a pad stack. And Charlie looked for his second on a clear cut as he beat a defense man. But Andrew Walls stands in tall. I'll let you finish that thought, Dave.
Oh, my. And I get a little bit long-winded as time, Nick. But just a great play by Charlie Vig getting around. And what patience to kind of transition away from Walls, who did a great job of taking away space and really, I mean, you can't really explain to the viewers or the listeners of what kind of save that was by Walls, being able to, you know, have the wherewithal to stick with the play and wait out the patience of a good forward to get his leg up in the air and make a really nice save to keep his team in the hockey game.
He's spectacular, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, if things kind of go the same here, Nick, I can't imagine that he's not your all-tournament goaltender.
Really, I would have to agree. He's been tested and tested often here. Not often do you make that selection when a team potentially doesn't win the state title or even get through into the TV round. But boy, Andrew Walls has had the best performances we've seen yet here at the state high school hockey tournament. He shut down Bonnet on 45 of 47 shots yesterday. He's held Century to 1 on 23 shots here today. And of course, his outing against Red River didn't go the way he would have liked to, but he still saw 38 shots against a team that has 6 of the top 9 scorers in the state in the opening round.
And honestly, Nick, tell me a goaltender that has a good performance against Red River with the forwards that they have. I mean, my all EDC goaltender found out yesterday, and you know, for the 3rd time this year, how hard it is to play against those guys.
Puck back in the Jamestown defensive end. Look out, there's a crash into the net. Andrew Walls went down. He's got a player in the goal with him, 2 players, one in a blue uniform, one in a white. It's Max Vig that ended up in the net. Walls is back up on his feet. He also had company in there with Sortland. All three of them went into the goal. That came off its moorings, and a faceoff will come now on Walls' blocker side, or will this faceoff come outside the zone?
I'm not really sure if Vig lost an edge there or the Jamestown defenseman helped him lose an edge. According to the officials, the Jamestown defenseman helped him lose an edge, and the faceoff is to Walls' left.
Puck comes back away down to the Blue Jays. They're going to start their rush back up to the neutral ice territory. Oh, and touch traffic. And the puck comes back out to neutral ice. We'll have a face-off coming here with 14:56 to play in the third period. Puck's taken here by Sentry. Dump back underneath the net. Of Walls comes away to the far side. It's going to be taken here by Astle. He'll move it back here to the near side wing, and back away to the far it comes. Blue Jays are going to regain possession. Held it at the line on the clear attempt. Here's a drive, went wide, rebound. Taken out front, comes back away. Now to the Blue Jays here with Johnson, and Jordan Johnson rushed it up to center, got it into the Sentry end. But it's Sentry with possession. No, it's not. Here's Mayhus. He's hit, crashing free. Mayhus walks down, lost it at the last moment, and going down. Hoyt Jubel made the save, and he hangs on to it for his 20th save of the game.
Right, and from our vantage point here, Nick, we're right on that blue line, and that puck looked like it came out by about an inch or two out of the blue line, with Jamestown players still stuck in the zone. So kind of a break for both teams there, that Jamestown was given kind of a freebie into the zone, and that Hubel made the save.
Ben Leduc on the stretch pass from Max Vig on a breakaway. Roofs it top shelf, and it's 2-0 Patriots.
And there's that stretch passing game that we see. Max Vig, just a tremendous first look out of the zone that came off the face-off there. And I mean, really, what puck is on the stick of Vig there. And I mean, Leduc just, like they've done in practice 100 times this year, we win a draw clean. I'm going to take off. I'm going to find the seam. And, that's something that Vig has been really one of the best that I've seen this year, at that outlet pass, finding that seam and leading his forward on a rush up the ice.
Well, it's such a skilled play when you break it down to pass that puck almost 180 feet as hard as you can and hit a stick blade that's only, what would you call a stick blade? 11 inches, 12 inches long, something like that, even shorter?
Right, and just like, the more impressive thing is just the tape to tape. That is not an easy pass to make on a surface that's soft and the puck has been bouncy. Just to find that stick, like you said, almost 160 to 170 feet away, beating two defensemen, and then, the credit to Leduc, who's had a fine game today, beating the All-West region, probably All-State goaltender Walls to make it 2-0 Century.
Shot comes in from the Jays. Is that the nail of the coffin in your mind, Dave?
A lot of game left. The two-goal lead is obviously the worst lead in hockey, but it's going to be a time for Jamestown to dig deep a little bit. Maybe play a little bit more offensively, and we talked about them trying to get the puck down deep, and that's where the opportunities are going to come.
Steady dose, I would guess, coming here of Rolson and Mayhus, but it's Max Vig at the point that holds in the clear attempt. He fired it down towards the goal. Comes out in front now. Sentry trying to move it free with TJ Olson. They do. And then it's Von Romsdahl that took it around the end boards to Zalumskis. Zalumskis clears it up. Got past Nate Walls, past him. That's an icing with 13:07 left in the third period. 2-0 Sentry on the BNC National Bank scoreboard.
And there's a play for Jamestown with a similar situation where you're flying your off wing with Sentry caught a little bit behind the play, and Jamestown misses on the stretch pass. If they hit that pass, they've got Walls in all alone on Ubel, but the pass misses by about 5 or 6 feet, and not an easy pass, by the way, either, but a pass that Vig just hits, and Jamestown's not able to hit it, and it ends up being a face-off in their end.
Charlie Vig back in with an offensive zone. Hitting is picked up here in this third. One thing you always worry about these third and fifth place games is just the physicality, and if things are going to get carried away. It comes back now here. Rubach can fire, save, rebound, side of the net, swept out of there by the D-man, Sortland. Back up to the point. It's going to be taken here by Charlie Vig again. He's going to dance with it. Charlie down to the corner, hits the brakes, back to the point. Heck at the line, sending down again, freeing it off the end boards. It comes underneath the Jamestown net, and there's a foot race in after it that the Blue Jays win. They're going to launch this one all the way down. Goes through the blue paint, but down for an icing. 2-0 Century on top of Jamestown with 12:15 left here in this third period. And back to that thought of you always want to be careful of these games because they do have a tendency from time to time to get a little carried away. Maybe a little different with two veteran coaches and Matt Stockert and Troy Olsen, but kids will be kids in these showdowns here today with a lot of emotion involved.
Yeah, absolutely. And to these teams' credit, this game has been played the right way. I mean, the one penalty that was taken, I mean, we question it here from the third story at Ralph Engelstad Arena. The official was right on top of the call, but not a dirty hit by any means. But this has been a good hockey game.
Puck comes free down to the Century Patriots. They start the rush to center. Max Vig has it here. Vig with one man to beat. That's Zalewski's. He does beat him. Shot comes in. Save, rebound. Oh, two opportunities for Max Vig. And Andrew Walls shuts down the top producing D-man in the state tournament. Vig's got it again. Now he dances. Backhand. Sent it across. Tried to feed it over to Ronas on the near side. Comes free in front to the Blue Jay bench, but inside the blue line. Now the Blue Jays are going to try to clear. They will. And Jamestown sends it down where Ubel's under the net to play it. He's going to fire this one up to center ice. Connects with Vig. Into the zone come the Blue Jays. Into the zone come the Patriots. And the Blue Jays are in after it here. And now it's going to be held in at the point on the clear attempt from the Jays by the Pats to Max Vig. Vig has it here. Tipped out in front on his shot, but it was knocked free in front of the net. Taken out to center again by Jamestown. Century definitely has had an edge here in this third period. 10:50 now, ticking down to the third. 2-0 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. Century on top. Puck away to the near side corner. Ritter's got it here. Sends it out front. Save, rebound. Loose on top of the blue paint. Spun out of there that time by Robsdahl. And up to center it comes here for Mayhus. Mayhus is in with it. Mayhus, little toe drag move. Taken away there. Nice play on the defensive end coming from Kleinjid. Back the other direction we go. Brubakken drops it off Charlie Vig. Back to Brubakken. One-timer. Save, rebound. Shot, save again. Oh, side of the net. Ben Leduc looking for his second. And Andrew Walls stamping his name into the memory bank here as one of the top goaltenders we've seen for the Blue Jays. My goodness, was he good again here.
Right, and you can see where the legs are maybe getting a little bit heavy for the Jamestown Blue Jays, and that scenario right there, he made 3 or 4 really nice saves down low on Vig and Leduc, and really his defensemen are scrambling, trying to help him out, but another turnover for Jamestown.
In with a Charlie Vig, sent that one high in the net, just missed on the glove side. Out to center, Nate Walls crashing in, taken away here by the Century Patriots. Jackson Swan moved it free to the far point. Now Mayhus hands it down to the corner, sent out in front here, drive in on Ubel. He'll hang on to it. And with an extra whack at the Century goaltender was Gavin Gerhardt, and then Gerhardt got a stick on the shin pads and the top of the laces on the skates from all 3 Century Patriots that were within a stick's reach after the stop was made.
And as a former goaltender, Nick, and you as well, I kind of like to see that. Oh, here, yeah, he got the tap in. So here's a tap, here's a tap, here's a tap. That's good to see. Nothing egregious where the ref is going to call a penalty, but hey, we all paid attention to you getting a shot in on our goaltender there.
Yeah, enough that he felt it on top of the laces. A lot of people don't know that, but that skate boot, yes, it is a hockey skate. You would think that thing is made of steel, kind of like the blade. It is not. And the laces on top, it's kind of like the tongue of your shoe almost. When you get a puck on top of the laces or a stick like that, it does not feel very good. 9:15 to play here in the third period. 2-0. Century leads. Loose in front of the net. Mayhus side of the cage. Oh, what an opportunity on the side of the goal mouth. Mayhus had a yawning cage after a Ubel save and rebound, but the puck was taken down. Century dodges a major bullet. We're under 9 to play in the third period, and the Blue Jays looking to see if they can come from behind here today. Zalewski's carries in. Jamestown needs 2 to tie. Puck comes up down to Vig. Transition the other direction. Max Vig skates down with it. He's got Ronas. Vig's just going to walk in. Vig side of the net. Trying to tuck it around. Andrew Walls couldn't do it. And it comes away to Ronas now on the far side. Back up Kleinjid. Feeds Ronas. Top of the circle. Sent in. That one through the goal mouth area, but it went wide. Comes away now here to the Blue Jays. They go up to center with Belzer. He'll dump it in. Ubel over the net to play it. Slowed it down for Kleingen, freed it to Ronas, and now this puck is launched to center right at the North Dakota stamp here at the Ralph at center ice. Blue Jays get it back. They'll dump it back in. Kleingen on the far wall. Kicked it down to the corner. Max Vig's going to regain control here. Sends it free to Ritter. And Ritter's going to move it off ahead. Now it's dumped right back in behind Jubel again. And out to play it here. Kleingen moves it forward. Free up to center. Charlie Vig really has stood out in this tournament, hasn't he?
Oh, my. Just the acceleration coming off the bench there. Just a great foot speed.
Out to center. The Blue Jays will chip. They'll give chase now, but it comes here back to Kite. He moves it free back to Charlie Vig. Hits the brakes at center, goes out of the tape for Leduc, and Leduc's going to carry down to the near side corner. 7.5 to play here in the third period. Season's going to come to a close for both these teams here. That one hit the goalpost for the line. Shot came in, a rifle, kind of a snapshot there from Jangula. He sent it in, and it hit the goalpost. Puck's free down to Gavin Gerhardt on the far side. He's got real estate. Gerhardt goes cross ice, lead pass. Jamestown taking some chances here on the threaded pass up. Gavin Gerhardt's offsides, and that will be an intentional offside, so we'll face it off back in Jamestown's territory. 7:07 to play here in the third. 2-0 Century Patriots lead here.
And still, Nick, I don't think Jamestown's doing a good enough job of getting the puck deep. We saw a rush a couple moments ago from Max Vig where Walls again, withstood an odd man rush where Jamestown has the puck just outside the blue line. They fail to get it deep and then transition the other way, creates a chance for Century.
In on the drive, on angle shot there for Zalumski's on the glove side. Just missed the pipe, hit the side of the cage. Underneath the net now for the Blue Jays offensive zone, but the coverage there again for the Patriots. And Century tries to clear. This is the rubber match. So there are two matchups this year. Both teams had a win. Shot in front. Rolson scores. Tipped in front of the net as it was sent down. Zalumski's out in front, and Rolson cracks the book today. He's got his 44th point of the year.
And there you go, Nick. Just getting the puck deep, creating the cycle off the wall. From going low to high, finding your weak side defenseman Zalumski's, and really found the weak side man coming back, rolls into the play. It's so tough when you get going in the offensive zone, going low to high, finding those, having your wings, finding those defensemen. They're not always in the right spot, and they're for Jamestown. They're able to create offense from kind of a set play in the offensive zone once they got the puck deep and were able to bang on Century a little bit.
6:35 left in the third. 2-1. Century on top of the Jamestown Blue Jays on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. We talked about Century scoring the second one, which was a dagger. But now we've got an opportunity for the Jays to tie it up. Let's listen in.
With an assist to number 5, Jarek Zamlewski. And number 11, Easton Romsdahl.
Romsdahl and Zalumski's are in on the assist. Comes away down to Ritter, offensive zone here for the Patriots. Well, this is what you'd expect in this game here today with regulation in 2 games. Only one time in 2 games, I should say, regulation was enough to decide a winner, and it was only a 1-goal win for Jamestown that day. The day before when these two teams played, it ended up being a shootout victory for the Century Patriots. Ritter had a hit in deep. Then there was a little scrum behind the net. No penalties called there. Puck comes back away down to the Jays. They've got a lead man up into the offensive zone. Skating down, it's Ashton Stockert back behind the net. Puck's picked up here by Max Vig. Bumps it free. Caught it up to his brother. Here comes Charlie Vig waiting for trailers. Turns and fires down out of the pillows. Excellent stop again. The 34th shot on goal for the Century Patriots, and the 32nd save for Andrew Walls.
And again, Nick, I'm beating a dead horse here, but that outlet pass from Max Vig, an indirect pass off the wall, tape to tape for his brother in to create the chance on Walls, who makes another save in front. Just the ability to make that pass. Really, a lot of kids have struggled with that kick plate, but that's what a great pass there from Max Vig to his brother. Maybe they work on that out in the outdoor rinks a little bit, but just another really impressive play where Jamestown had really done a great job protecting the seam of the ice, and he's able to go up the wall with an indirect play for his brother. Doesn't have to break stride going into the zone and gets a quality shot on goal. Just a very, very, it didn't lead to a goal, but a really high-level pass from Vig there.
Yeah, it really certainly is when you look at where he played the game of billiards and the angle that he put it off the wall to connect with his brother Charlie. Impressive. Timeout on the ice here, by the way. Matt Stockert calls it here with 5:27 left in the third. I would love to be on the bench right now to hear both of these veteran coaches what they have to say. Nothing but respect for both of those gentlemen. Troy Olsen in year number 18, Matt Stockert in year number 19. I asked Troy Olsen earlier on today in the coaches' corner what that relationship was like between the two of them. Two guys that are two of the longest standing coaches in the state of North Dakota high school hockey, certainly in the West region. And Ole just had a smile on his face and said they get along great and they have plenty of time to spend time together in the off season and with summer hockey and all that's involved. And he said that, likes playing Jamestown because they play him clean. They're going to get up and down the ice today, and that's exactly what we've had with only 2 penalties called in this entire game. And now the X's and O's of the coaches drop their plans to see who's going to come out on top here today. Can the Blue Jays come from behind, trailing 2-1 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard? Time is against them here, or you could argue that point too, Dave, because they do have 5:20 left here in the third period. Puck's back in behind the Century net. Max Vig's got it back behind his own goal. Vig hounded here. Vig's going to turn it over. Mayhews has it. Mayhews gets it back center. Slot sends it in. Stick save. Down away to the corner it comes, and now it comes away here on the near side for Kleingen. Kleingen underneath the half wall. Freed it off to Charlie Vig. Bumped it free to his brother Max. Up to center we go now as the puck's pushed free here. This puck comes down, and an icing here on the Patriots with 4:49 left in the third.
And really, Century kind of dodged a bullet there. Vig trying to be maybe a little bit too cute coming out of his own end there, and kind of tried to go to the no zone, as you would say, up the middle of the ice when there really wasn't a whole lot there. And a nice job by Mayhews turning the puck over. They weren't able to get the puck in really a danger area to Century's net, but that's going to be the chance that is able to get them to tie this hockey game.
Underneath the net now for Ritter, offensive zone. Ritter pounded onto the corner. Gavin Gerhardt checks him. Puck's freed out front. TJ Olsen couldn't get a stick on it. Now it comes away to Ronas. He does. Chips it out towards the net, but it's taken down and deep here where Zalumskis gathers and creates some space where he turns the motor on and goes up to center. Lead pass for Gerhardt. Comes down. Will we have an icing? Oh, we will. Gerhardt sent it forward off there, and Walls just couldn't reach it in time. 4:17 to play in the third period. 2-1 Century leading the Jamestown Blue Jays. It's been a fun tournament. Great job to everybody at the Ralph Engelstad Arena. Giant thank you again to Bob Gillen from NorthDakotaHighSchoolHockey.com. He's been set up to our left all tournament long. Thank you, Bob, for everything that you do for these athletes and for our broadcast team here at the state tournament. Been a lot of fun. The question is, who's eating more red pepper this week? Those have been Bob or me. Tough to contend with me when I get over here from Minot when we come over to Grand Forks. You can have those shipped to you,
Yeah, the grinder kit now, they can, they'll ship it anywhere. I believe it's anywhere around the world. I might be mistaken now that we've had COVID, but it used to be anywhere in the world within a day or two.
Are you a heated up guy? Did I already ask you?
When I went to college at UND, 18 or so years ago, I don't remember that being an option. They asked me that question now, like, well, what do you mean? Heat up a grinder? No, I've actually never tried it heated up. You don't want to go against a good thing, and I mean, why you'd want to heat up a grinder? I'll never know.
Well, Matt Stockert does. He told me yesterday in the pregame against Minot I was kind of floored because I just couldn't believe it. He and my wife are the only two that I know that do it. Puck up to center. It comes now here for Century Patriots. They're going to try to bring it back into the zone. They do now. They send it in. 3:25 to play here in the third. It's almost like when they heat it up, something happens with the salami or something. I don't like it that much. Here's a drive that comes in on Ubel. He'll make the save. Back away now. Here Kite moves it up to center. Take it back here at center ice where it's going to go away to Sortland. He dumps it down. We're down to 3 minutes, 7 seconds to play in the third period. 2-1 Century on top, a fifth place trophy on hand here today for the winner of this matchup. There's nothing wrong with fifth place. The only thing wrong with it, it's not first and it's not third, of course, but you're still the top 5 team in North Dakota high school hockey when the dust settles. And look, that's a lot to be proud of when there's 21 teams in the entire league, if I'm not mistaken. Up to center we go now, where it's taken here by the Century Patriots. Comes back away to the Blue Jays. Is it 21, Dave? Is that right? 11 in the West and 10 in the East?
Yeah, there are 10 teams in the East region. I didn't realize there was 11 teams out in the West region. Wow, that's...
Well, let me double check what I'm talking about here. This puck comes all the way down. We have a moment on the icing. 2:25 left here in regulation. Nick Colbert, Dave Wilson on the call here today. And we do appreciate you so much for joining us on the PSP Network. Bob Gillen just handed me the bracket for the girls high school hockey tournament. Century will be the 8th seed. They're going to take on Fargo Davies at noon next Thursday at the Pepsi rink at Macer Arena. 10 teams in the East, 10 in the West. I don't know what I was talking about. I was thinking 11 because Minot North is going to have a team coming into the league within the next few years. 5 out of 20 isn't bad.
No, and I mean even 6 out of 22. I mean, you want to win this game, but if you lose, you've still got a good finish.
Rodas had a chance. We're under 2 minutes to play. Fired it high. That means that Zalumskis will move it forward. Got it off to May, who's here, and now a stop in the play with 1:51 to play in regulation. 2-1 Century on top. If you're Troy Olson, do you wait to use a timeout here if Jamestown scores, or in a certain situation?
I'm just going to kind of go by, if I'm him, I'm just going to go by how tired the Vig brothers are, and that top line with Charlie, Vig, and Leduc and Max. So basically, they'll probably be on the ice here the rest of the game for them. If they need a minute here, that's when I would use my timeout. If they're okay and they're ready to face it off, I'll probably save that timeout.
Net is going to be emptied now here for the Jamestown Blue Jays. Off comes Walls. Taken here by Max Vig back in his own territory. Max has it here. He's got it tied up in deep with some help for the Jays. Up to Zalumskis. He's got it now. Sends it in. Comes away to Max Vig. Kick save there from Ubel. It was going wide. Sit down in front. All 8 Walls was there. Couldn't pull the trigger. Comes back to the point, and now it's swept out of the zone by the Century Patriots. And a high stick will be called. And we'll have a face-off coming back in Jamestown territory with 1:09 left in regulation. 2-1 Century on the BNC National Bank scoreboard.
And honestly, that high stick might have saved Jamestown because they had a man stuck deep in Century zone with a puck outside the blue line. And really, if you dump that puck in right there, Vig might go get it, and he's got really a clean look at an empty net the other end of the ice. So an opportunity, get your goaltender back in there, get the puck deep, break it out, get him back out again, but not the worst situation there for Jamestown.
Puck comes back up to center. Ritter's got it. He's going to fire it in on the goaltender Walls, and Walls is going to push it up to center. Nice play from the goaltender. He moved the puck free, and now he's going to go off to the bench. He has to go back to the net because it was taken by the Patriots for a moment. Walls is now off. Empty net and 6-on-5 for Jamestown. 40 seconds left in regulation. Will we need overtime today at the Ralph Eggleston Arena? Vig's got it down in deep. Tied up on the wall. Comes away to Nate Walls in the corner. Walls moves it free up to the point. Handled here at the line where it's going to be moved down into the corner again. Rolls it on angle. Sends it out front. Save. Rebound. Loose in front. Oh, Ubel's got the save of the game here. Puck's going to come off the glass out to center. 2-on-1 here for Century. Shot came in and a broken stick on the play. Underneath the net now. Charlie Vig's got it. Cut him down 10 seconds. Now 9, now 8, now 7. Can Jamestown fire with one more opportunity? 5 seconds. 3, now 2. At the horn coming here, and it ends 2-1 today. How about the save from Hoyt Ubel on a point-blank chance from Rolson, one of the top players in the West region. He shut the door. Mayhus was knocking as well, but a huge kick save and a beauty to win the hockey game for Century.
And a really nice job there by Jamestown with the man advantage. They got the puck from what went low to high, and I think Max Vig maybe got caught a little bit puck watching there because Max was out at the point point, and as a defenseman, you really don't want your defenseman out there at the point. Jamestown gets an odd man advantage then when the puck goes back down low. A great pass cross crease, and Ubel did a great job to get across and really save this game for the Century Patriots from going to overtime.
Wow, that was fantastic. What a game today. Congratulations to the Jamestown Blue Jays and Matt Stockert on an excellent season. 14-11-2 will be their overall record when it's all said and done. Troy Olsen moves the team to 17-9-1 when the dust settles on the year. 17-10, not a bad mark either for the Century Patriots, who take 5th place at the State High School Hockey Tournament. What a game it was. Let's move to our Shots Crossroads Planning Team Financial Advisors postgame show. We'll do that now, where we'll have our move of the game and our MVP of the game coming up next here on the PSP Network. Century wins 2-1.
Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession, Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. With locations in Bismarck, Garrison, and Center, our full-service team of professionals are dedicated to helping you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member of FINRA and SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. New Edge Advisors, LLC and Planning Team Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
Oh, easy. I think I'm good. You got my good side, right? Not too many lights. I don't want to get fried before my time. Oh, it's egg-tastic. You never know what dish you're going to end up in. My dream dish is a 99. It's so popular. Me and a fellow egg tag teaming with some crispy golden hash browns. Have you seen those hash browns? Those guys are shredded. Throw in some diced ham, onions, and melted cheese. Oh, it's a party for your taste buds. Oh, here comes Chevy. Hold on, Chevy. Did you guys get everything that you needed? 99. Here I come. Shots Crossroads. It's an excellent place to eat.
It's time for the Shots Crossroads and Planning Team Financial Advisors postgame show. Now for a look at game stats and analysis. Let's go to the postgame show.
Two on the final score here today. Century over Jamestown. Fun game today. What a dogfight between those two teams, wasn't it? Battle on the ice today between Century and Jamestown here today. We'll have a full stat recap coming in just a moment. Both teams receiving their medals here at the state tournament and the award presentation that happens right now here at the Ralph Engelstad Arena. Shots were 36-29. Century with the advantage here in this hockey game. How about Andrew Walls again? 36 saves. Make it 34 on 36 again here today. 29 saves. Making 28 saves on 29 shots. I'm sorry, here for the goaltender Hoyt Ubel today. This is our Planning Team Financial Advisors at Shots Crossroads post-game show. Planning Team Financial Advisors, if you're planning for farm or business succession or in need of a full-service financial plan, Planning Team Financial Advisors can help you every step of the way. Big thank you again, Planning Team Financial Advisors. Find them online, planningteam.com. At Shots Crossroads, team buses are always welcome. At Shots Crossroads, home to the famous number 99 in the Magic City. Shots Crossroads brings you the post game today as well. Waiting on that official score sheet to come our way, but let's start with our move of the game here today. Move of the game brought to you by Jobbers Moving and Storage. Whether you're moving across town or across the country, Jobbers can help you with your moving and storage needs. Visit them online, jobberswarehouse.com. Locations in Minot, Bismarck, Fargo, and Aberdeen. It's Jobbers. Well, Move of the game for me is a save from Hoyt Jubel with about 20 seconds remaining in this contest. He kicked out the left pad on a point-blank opportunity and had another save on the doorstep that kept this game from going to overtime. My move of the game is the goaltender Hoyt Jubel's save late in regulation for the Century Patriots to give Century enough cushion to win 2-1 here today on the BNC National Bank scorebook. Congratulations, Hoyt Jubel. You've got our Jobbers Moving and Storage move of the game. Time for today's MVP of the contest. The MVP of the game brought to you by our friends at Sport Clips. Sport Clips, where you can sign in with a hairstylist today. Find them online at Sport Clips. Get the MVP haircut experience at Sport Clips. You won't be disappointed in that, I promise you. Sport Clips brings you today's MVP. For me, the goaltenders today really are the stars of this game. Both netminders were fantastic here today. And our MVPs are both netminders here. 34 saves today for Andrew Walls, 28 today for Hoyt Jubel. They only surrendered 3 goals against some of the top talent in North Dakota. Congratulations to both netminders, Andrew Walls and Hoyt Jubel. You are our MVPs, brought to you by Sport Clips. Game reset looks like this. Charlie Vig scored once in the contest today. That came at 3:08 of the second period. Century led 1-0 at the end of 2. Ben Leduc scored for Century on 2:45 of the third. Max Vig had the long stretch pass that led it up to him. Andrew Brubachen brought it up to Vig to start that play. And Ben Leduc scored for the second time here in this tournament. That made it 2-0. Brooks Roltson made it interesting at 10:19 when Roltson buried from Zalumski's at Easton Romsdal. And that made it a 2-1 score, and it came down the stretch late. It was a fun one here today. 3 goals scored. Charlie Vig, Ben Leduc, and Brooks Roltson were the ones on the list. Shots in the first, 12-7 in favor of Century. 11-10 in the second in favor of Jamestown. 14-11 in the third in favor of Century, for a total of 36-29 favoring Century today. 1 power play in the game. That was it. 0 for 1 on the power play with the Jamestown Blue Jays here today. Quality scoring chances were 11-5 favoring the Bismarck Century Patriots, and the Patriots won the face-off category today as well, 24-19. Final score again on the BNC National Bank scoreboard, 2-1 as the Century Patriots take home 5th place in the state high school hockey tournament. Dave and I come back tonight for the championship, where Red River takes on Fargo South Shanley. We'll have the call for you right here on the PSP Network starting at around 6 p.m. with our Shields pregame show here tonight. Again, a fantastic season for the Century Patriots and Jamestown Blue Jays. Congratulations to both teams. Hard-fought effort here today. And it's the Patriots that win 5th at the state high school hockey tournament. For Mr. Dave Wilson, I'm Nick Holberg. Signing off today from the Ralph. If you don't join us tonight for the state championship, please, whatever you do, have a great weekend. Have a good afternoon, and God bless. Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession, Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. With locations in Bismarck, Garrison, and Center, our full-service team of professionals are dedicated to helping you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member of FINRA and SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. New Edge Advisors, LLC, and Planning Team Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
Our stylists are trained to understand the nuances of cutting men's hair. Less pomp, more adore, huh, Brittany?
Square face, wavy hair.
Mid-fade with a textured top. Finish it off with a hard part and taper that neckline, coach.
Cowlick, what's the move? It's not just all about hard work here.
Hit off, 7, pressure, points, yeah.
It takes expertise to be a Sport Clip stylist.
Here?
That's the spot. Right there, huh? Sport Clips, the pros in men's hair.
Are you moving your business or your home across the town or across the country? We know it can be stressful. To ensure your possessions arrive on time, intact, and on budget, make your move with Jobbers Moving and Storage. Jobbers can help you with every aspect of your move. With our efficient step-by-step approach to move management, we can tailor a plan to suit your needs and schedule. With locations in Bismarck, Fargo, Minot, and Aberdeen, Jobbers Moving and Storage is your choice. Visit jobberswarehouse.com. It's Jobbers Moving and Storage.
Oh, easy, easy. I think I'm good. You got my good side, right? Not too many lights. I don't want to get fried before my time. Oh, it's egg-tastic. You never know what dish you're going to end up in. My dream dish is a 99. It's so popular. Me and a fellow egg tag teaming with some crispy golden hash browns. Have you seen those hash browns? Those guys are shredded. Throw in some diced ham, onions, and melted cheese. Oh, it's a party for your taste buds. Oh, here comes Chevy. Hold on, Chevy. Did you guys get everything that you needed? 99. Here I come. Shots Crossroads. It's an excellent place to eat.